The scene where Homelander chases a train is absolutely suffocating in tension. Two top-tier superheroes stage a life-or-death chase through the streets. Meanwhile, an ordinary girl has just finished work. Little does she know, death's only one step away.
Someone can catch the A train after all. End of the road, buddy boy.
The insane, ruthless, and overwhelmingly imposing Homelander is finally back.
I want to be making milk. I do, more than anything.
Last season, Homelander tore off his hypocritical mask. He seized control of the United States all by himself. He also tried to turn his own son Ryan into a cold-blooded superpowered weapon, Butcher. In order to defeat Homelander, injected himself with V24 recklessly. It eventually left him with late-stage brain cancer. His reckless actions tore the boys apart. Now Huey, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie have all been captured. Only Butcher and Starlight are barely hanging on. What's more, the sealed soldier boy has woken up. The grudges between 3 generations of Supes have fully erupted. The story picks up with Homelander having taken over Vought International. He's about to hold the annual press conference today. As usual, he praises imperialism briefly before denouncing Starlight's actions. Little does he know Starlight's already infiltrated Vought. She disguises herself as one of the dancers at the event. With help from her supporters, she breaks into the control room to release the Flight 37 video. But a katana suddenly slashes through the door. It's Black Noir, Homelander's enforcer, arriving to attack. To avoid disrupting the upload, Starlight fights Noir without using her powers. She holds Noir off, letting the technicians hack into the system successfully. The big screen at the press conference immediately starts playing the footage. In the video, Maeve begs Homelander to save a mother and daughter on the plane, only to be threatened by him.
All of you, stay back! You stay the fuck back or I'll laser you, goddammit! I'll laser every fucking one of you!
The truth about the so-called superhero letting people die is exposed. The whole venue falls into dead silence. Does anyone remember Homelander's new strategist, Sage? Because the Deep and his crew are far too stupid collectively. Last season, Homelander recruited the smartest woman in the world. Sage quickly spins it, claiming the video is AI-generated fake footage. On top of that, after Butcher killed Newman the head popper, but secretly pushed their secretary Ashley into the US vice presidency, she helps Homelander whitewash his dictatorship and manipulate public opinion.
Sad day. When a great American like Homelander is attacked with lies. This so-called Flight 37 video is an obvious deep fake put out by Marxist Starlighters.
With all this manipulation, the public can't tell truth from lies. The video leak barely affects Homelander at all. Even so, Starlight's stunt enrages him. Ignoring Sage's warnings, Homelander plans to execute Huey, and Frenchie in 3 days. This will lure Starlight and Butcher out, so he can wipe them all out. Inside the Liberty Camp, it's a fascist concentration camp Homelander built after seizing America. A sign hangs above the gate, Liberty, Freedom for You. It's a direct mockery of the Nazi concentration camp slogan, work sets you free, all anti. Homelander figures, including the 3 boys, are imprisoned here. But Frenchie fits right in and quickly becomes a drug dealer inside. He gambles and watches underground fights to pass the time. Life isn't half bad for him in there. Little do they know, they'll be taken to the execution block in 3 days. Sage can't really understand Homelander. He has a 96% approval rating, and holds the most power in the world. So why isn't he satisfied?
Anyone can smile for the pollsters, sure, but millions of them are still Starlighters in their hearts. Where it counts.
Homelander can sense people don't love him. They fear him.
Your heart's pounding. Are you scared?
No, I just love being at work.
Even Firecracker, who nursed him, has to take a deep breath before daring to speak to him.
I want to be making milk. I do, more than anything. Them pills just janked up my ticker something awful.
Homelander brushes off Firecracker and hurries to his next news interview. He calls the video ridiculously fake. He claims he has 6 fingers in it, proving it's AI generated. Meanwhile, Butcher returns to his London home. After learning his mother has died, everyone knows every hero has trauma from their family. Butcher is a perfect example. His father was an abusive alcoholic, he believed. Violence makes a man, and beat his wife and 2 sons for years. As a teen, Butcher joined the Royal Marines to escape the abuse, leaving his younger brother to face their father alone. Months later, his brother couldn't take it anymore and killed himself. This guilt has become Butcher's deepest psychological scar. He hates his own violent nature, but can't break free from the curse. Now his father has late-stage anal cancer. He comes just to taunt him.
I got long to go.
I know. But it'll give me a good fucking laugh. Just to hear you scream.
After tormenting his dad, Butcher goes to Manila to find Kimiko.
I ain't here for you, you dozy bin. They're after Frenchie.
Butcher tells Kimiko Vought will make their move in 72 hours. I know you don't trust me, but time is running out. Butcher got a CIA Gulfstream jet, refueling in Plaridel. It takes off in an hour. If Kimiko wants to save them, she needs to meet him there.
Smile, camper. It's a new day and a new chance to learn the true meaning of freedom.
Amid a robot lady's sweet voice, another crazed prisoner prepares to break out.
Hey! Hey!
Turns out Liberty Camp has not only soldiers, but also soups on 24-hour rotation. Since it opened, no one has ever escaped alive. Thankfully, Huey and the others aren't alone. Butcher has gathered the remaining members. Kimiko talks non-stop the second she sees Starlight. She's been going through therapy this whole time. She can now speak normally like everyone else.
16-hour flight and not a fucking peep.
Because all you can say is oi oi oi, cunt cunt cunt.
Like the better with a mouth shut.
From their conversation, we learn Kimiko was taken by Vought and moved to Manila. She snuck into a plane's landing gear to escape back, but she fell over 3,000 meters and had to recover in Manila. That's why she couldn't reach Starlight sooner. The 3 know Homelander announced the execution just to trap them, but it's their teammates' lives. They have no choice but to go.
Why haven't you tried to swing them before? You want Frenchie. You're still working on the virus, and you want his help.
The virus Starlight mentions is a gene-targeting weapon made to wipe out soups. It targets Compound V, deadly only to soups and harmless to humans. It could kill Homelander, but its high infectivity would wipe out other soups too. Butcher doesn't care. He believes superpowers are inherently evil and must be erased, but Starlight firmly opposes it, refusing to sacrifice innocent soups. She pulls out a map of Liberty Camp. Starlight took these aerial photos herself. The camp is surrounded by open fields with no cover. Getting in won't be easy. Butcher knows a soup named Worm, who might help them tunnel in. But getting out is another problem. Starlight says she'll handle it. She has a reliable ally, so Butcher goes to find Worm first. Worm used to be a writer at Vought Studios, until AI took his job. Now he's a shut-in writing novels to get by. Butcher offers him a chance to get revenge on Vought. All he has to do is dig a tunnel
20 miles out of Rochester. Be there.
Rochester's got that Honeyway soil. It's fucking delicious.
Meanwhile, Starlight goes to find her trusted friend. Shockingly, the person she recruits is A-Train. Starlight doesn't want to drag him into danger, so she says she only needs him to get Huey and the others to the extraction point. He doesn't have to get involved in anything else. Even so, A-Train is too scared to risk it. He has a family to protect and can't recklessly put himself in danger. At the same time, Huey crawls through a bathroom tunnel to plan an escape with Frenchie and Emma. They know they'll be executed in 36 hours. They realize the announcement is a trap for Starlight. Huey wants to break out before the execution, so they need to make more Molotov cocktails. Huey remembers there's resin hidden in the barracks walls. He climbs back up to get the materials, but when he enters the barracks, he sees a pile of dead bodies. Blood covers most of the room, and Homelander stands in the pool of blood, reading Huey's diary. The posters on the wall are torn down. Homelander has found the resin inside. In truth, he's known about their little plan all along. He just pretended not to notice to give them false hope, but he flew into a rage just hours earlier. He found the stage manager had liked Starlight's post behind his back. Homelander tolerates zero betrayal, so he sliced the man's head clean off.
Sir, you can check my history. I've never liked one of her shitty posts.
Homelander summons the Deep and Black Noir, certainly not to check who liked what online. It's been a full year since he sent them to hunt A-Train and Starlight. and the two have made zero progress whatsoever.
It's almost as if you're fucking up on purpose. I mean, I know you're not. That would be suicidal. Do your fucking jobs.
Yes, sir.
After dismissing the two idiots, Homelander heads to the back of his office. Soldier Boy lies dormant inside a cryogenic pod. Meanwhile, Ashley is doing an interview with her husband, Lamplighter. They play the perfect superhero couple for the public. Their marriage is nothing more than a PR stunt.
Hey, it's not my fault. The American people wouldn't accept a single cat lady as VP.
Maybe. But still, I don't see why I had to put Tigger down.
It was a patriotic thing to do.
Sage visits Ashley to deliver Homelander's new order. He wants more of Starlight's followers arrested, not just the protesters. Breaking windows and spray painting walls, but also anyone online slandering him and defending Starlight. They must all be taken into custody.
It's just that we've already purged the CIA, DOJ, FBI, FTC, CDC, EPA, DHS, HHS, and USPS. We deported the nation's nannies and gardeners, but now he wants to detain thousands of American citizens?
Sage tells her this isn't her concern to question. She shouldn't act like she's actually the vice president. A train has returned to Brittany, France. He's been hiding here with his family, living a quiet, peaceful year. Just then, a flock of birds bursts from the nearby ocean surface. Moments later, the Deep approaches riding a shark. A train has already gotten his family to safety at top speed. He warns the Deep that staying with Homelander is very dangerous. Today I'm the one being hunted. Tomorrow it'll be you.
You know, I can see it. Look how terrified you are of him. You. I'm the Lord of the Seven Seas, baby.
The Deep knows full well whether he's scared or not. A train flees the shore right after speaking. Later that night, Butcher and the two others head toward the camp with Worm. Since A Train refused to help, Starlight plans to evacuate them one by one. It's risky, but they have no other choice. When Worm sees they're digging into Liberty Camp, he tries to back out immediately. Starlight doesn't waste words with him. Either you dig us a tunnel, or I'll dig a hole and bury you in it.
You guys are gonna want to stay back.
Worm digs a narrow tunnel quickly, eating and gagging the whole time. Once he's done, he tries to leave.
Is it cool if I use this for the A story and the Reacher's pack I'm working on?
Oh, piss off, wanker.
Butcher climbs out first with Kimiko. The second they enter the barracks, they see Huey and the others tied up tight. Homelander's waiting right there. He already knows about the Godalkin virus, yet he shows no fear at all. In an instant, he blasts Kimiko's legs off with his heat vision. He demands that Butcher tell him where Starlight is. Kimiko glances at her watch from the ground, and silently signals Frenchie and the others. Taking advantage of Homelander's blurred vision, they grab Kimiko and flee at once. The guards outside are also blinded by the bright light. They're stunned and unable to react. Just then, spots the guard who always tortures the prisoners. He chases after him in the chaos. Ready to kill the man, Huey also sees his friend from the camp in trouble. He doesn't have time to explain to Starlight, and rushes to save him. Chaos and fighting erupt everywhere. Frenchie holds Kimiko and kisses her deeply. Thankfully, Butcher spots the soup on the watchtower, wraps his neck, and yanks him down. Butcher chases into the barracks to finish the soup off. Starlight looks at the chaotic camp, and decides to get Frenchie out first. Because Butcher was right, Frenchie, who can help develop the virus, is crucial. Huey sees Starlight fly away and is confused for a moment. Elsewhere, Butcher's tentacles wrap around the soup, ready to kill her, but Homelander catches up. Homelander approaches the collapsed bunk but finds Butcher gone. He goes after Huey instead and kills his friend instantly. Homelander grabs Huey by the throat, forcing Butcher to reveal himself. He fires his heat vision right away. At the very last second, A Train arrives on the scene. Thanks to A Train, Huey and are saved. He sees Homelander stare and bolts immediately, but Homelander chases after him without delay. Right after they leave, Starlight returns, but Huey ignores Starlight on purpose for her earlier move, and retreats with Butcher. Meanwhile, Homelander is hunting down A Train. His raging fury and overwhelming pressure can be felt from miles away. Just then, a civilian girl walks by. A Train veers sharply to avoid hitting her, But he loses balance and crashes into the nearby woods. He skids hundreds of meters before finally stopping. Homelander catches up to him, facing death. A-Train no longer feels scared. Beyond his powers, Homelander is just a cowardly, pathetic man-child. A-Train's words strike a nerve deep within Homelander. Enraged, he snaps A-Train's neck. After all, A-Train was a member of the Seven, a beloved hero to the public. So Homelander still holds a memorial for him. He blames Starlight totally for A-Train's death. Homelander can't understand why everyone around him keeps betraying him. Just then, he realizes there might be someone who truly understands him. Elsewhere, Starlight and the others reach the suburbs of Erie, Pennsylvania. Butcher has set up his virus lab in an abandoned public elementary school. Samir, former VOT chief virologist and Newman's lover, has been helping Butcher refine the virus. Samir has always believed Newman was killed by Homelander, but in truth, Butcher tore his wife in half and sent his daughter to Red River Orphanage. Huey and the others feel guilty, but have to help Butcher hide the truth. After relentless work, Samir developed the super virus last week. Now they only need to test its effects to see if it only targets Homelander or all Supes. Butcher has chosen his test subject, Bunker. He's a member of the Teenage Kicks, weighing 408 kilograms. He's basically a walking boulder. He was recently expelled after committing lewd acts on the Lincoln Memorial statue, making Bunker the perfect test subject.
Indestructible, or nearly, almost as strong as Homelander, and no one gives a fuck about it.
Huey thinks Butcher has completely lost his mind. They should take the virus and plan things properly, but this time, after seeing Homelander's madness, Starlight changes her mind. As long as they can kill Homelander and end the nightmare, sacrificing all Supes is worth it. Early the next morning, they drive a moving van to stake out Bunker's place. Mem stays in the van as backup, while the others head inside with gear. Huey first cuts the internet and disables the security cameras. Everything goes smoothly at first. The problem is Bunker has let himself go completely. He probably weighs over 13,000 kilograms by now.
The fuck you ass slitters doing in here?
Oh, there ain't no way we can move him, even with the three of us.
The group's trying to figure out how to move him. Suddenly, a commercial for the Deep airs on the nearby TV.
The ancient Taoists believed that perineum sunning stopped chi, life force, from leaving the body. Don't ignore your anal wellness.
Since they can't move Bunker, they decide to seal off the air vents and test the virus right there. Hearing this, Bunker holds his breath immediately. His heart beats only 10 times a minute, letting him hold his breath for hours. If Bunker doesn't breathe, the virus can't enter his system. Besides, his thick skin makes injection impossible. Butcher and Huey head back to the van to get the virus, telling the others to find a way to make Bunker breathe. Soldier Boy regains consciousness. Soldier Boy is Vought's original superhero, and Homelander's biological father, and the only one who can truly defeat Homelander. In Season 3, Queen Maeve slammed him into a vault, and he was secretly held by the military. Now he's been freed by Homelander.
I want you to find William Butcher.
Find him yourself.
Homelander offers a deal. If Soldier Boy helps hunt down Butcher, he'll be cleared and make a glorious return. After all, the whole world thinks Soldier Boy is a Russian spy. Only Homelander can use Vought's influence to restore his reputation. Meanwhile, Sage has located over 10,000 of Starlight's supporters. She plans to arrest them using local Supes and law enforcement. But with so many targets, Liberty Camp's capacity must be tripled. The president has no say in the matter, and dares not object, but Ashley can't help but ask. Many of these supporters are Vought's own customers. Won't arresting them hurt the company's overall profits? Sage says there's no need to worry, they can just sell more ads. Right after he speaks, Homelander appears with Soldier Boy, and announces that Soldier Boy will be joining the Seven.
Oh, and Steve, Soldier Boy's gonna need a full pardon.
Well, sir, he was guilty of, treason. Consider it done, sir.
Goddamn. Since when could Supes teabag the president?
Elsewhere, Starlight and the team seal off all air vents, then set up the cameras, but Bunker suddenly makes a strange face, staring fixedly at a volcanic eruption video on the wall.
It's mountain pornography.
What? Almost got you, fuckers. Ha ha.
As the two watch in surprise, Starlight keeps getting alerts that her supporters are being rounded up and killed. She promised to help them pull through, but now she can only watch them die. Starlight is tormented, and just wants this nightmare to end quickly.
So this is why you do not care if the virus kills you. And yes, it's easier to wallow in your guilt. What the fucking shit? You get up every day and you keep going. Anything else is an insult to the dead.
Right then, MM brings a young girl downstairs. She's also a member of Teenage Kicks. Starlight tells MM to move her aside for the virus test too. MM feels sorry for her but doesn't argue. With the rest of Teenage Kicks about to return, they try everything but can't make Bunker breathe. MM glances at the young girl nearby. Her name's Countess Crow, and she can command crows. MM has a daughter around her age and knows how to talk to her.
Point is, Vought doesn't care about y'all neither. They're draining you for what, 60% of your earnings? It's ridiculous. Why are you grinding yourself to the nubs for these people? All they're gonna do is squeeze you for every cent you got and then sell you out in a heartbeat. Why are you risking your life for them?
Countess Crow soon shows her vulnerable side. She says she just wants to go back to her parents, and begs MM not to kill her. Elsewhere, Huey and the others are rushing back with the virus. A shield suddenly slams into the car window. Luckily, Huey grabs the virus just in time. Soldier Boy appears right after. Butcher is actually excited to see him. Is there a better test subject than Homelander's own father? Huey and Kimiko immediately jump out and run. Even together, they stand no chance against Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy still resents Butcher for betraying him and getting him frozen by the government again.
And for what? Because I was gonna kill some dumb kid?
That kid is your grandson.
Well, was it worth it? You feeling good about that call right about now? Where's that fucking brat?
Butcher ignores his anger and starts sowing division. He points out that Homelander knows Butcher has the super virus. He's just sending you here to die. Butcher distracts Soldier Boy while lifting a car and throwing it, then flees in the chaos. Two Supes on nearby duty rush over at the noise. Soldier Boy orders them to catch Huey and Kimiko. While he chases Butcher, Huey quickly calls MM to say Soldier Boy's alive. This dangerous man is way beyond ordinary Supes. Right then, the Supes catch up and knock the virus from Kimiko's hand. Huey snatches it up instantly. Kimiko holds off Popclaw, telling Huey to run. At the same time, another Supe grabs Huey and flies him thousands of meters high. The Supe lets go and drops Huey toward the ground. Kimiko quickly knocks Popclaw out but can't save Huey. At the critical moment, Starlight catches Huey safely. Elsewhere, Soldier Boy finds Butcher. Both are racing toward the building. Starlight rushes Huey inside, but Soldier Boy chases right after. He grabs Huey by the neck and snatches the virus. At this moment, the Supe and Bunker suddenly spit up dark blood, then collapse dead. The virus canister had been swapped all along. Soldier Boy's already inhaled the toxin. Red blisters immediately break out across his body. Then he collapses, gasping for air. Frenchie leads MM and the others to seal the building and escape quickly for safety.
Well, they did?
Very.
Oh, fuck, I wish I'd have seen that.
Starlight and other Supes separate from those exposed to the virus. MM slips away and secretly lets Countess Crow go free. Afterward, Samir examines them all and confirms Huey and the others carry no infection. Humans are truly immune to this toxin. Their plan could be considered a complete success, but Frenchie and Huey can't feel happy, because the virus will make them lose the people they love most. Success always comes with a price. At the same time, Homelander arrives at the scene. He sees Soldier Boy through the containment bag.
No. Not you two. Why does everyone keep leaving?
Homelander sheds 2 tears, then turns and leaves. Little does he know, Soldier Boy sits up the very next second. That's all for the latest episode of The Boys Season 5. To everyone who enjoys this show, don't forget to like, save, and follow, and stay tuned for new updates. Your support is what keeps us going. Homelander goes fully dark and beats his own son to a pulp. Soldier Boy flips hard and cucks Homelander hard. This episode, Homelander is unfathomably twisted. Enough chit-chat. Let's dive right in. At the end of last episode, Soldier Boy pulled off a fake death and somehow developed immunity to the virus. This episode opens with Homelander stepping up to whitewash Soldier Boy. claiming that Soldier Boy has been in Russia since 1984, working alongside our friends in the Kremlin to take out traitors in Ukraine.
Turns out Russia isn't our enemy. They're a strong, family-first nation who don't put up with trans bathrooms.
We're grateful to Soldier Boy for his courage and sacrifice, and we hope that he can forgive us as he takes his rightful place on the Seven.
Ashley also steps forward to award Soldier Boy the very first medal of patriotism, liberty, and democracy. Homelander grins on the surface, but his mind is in chaos. After all, his scheme of using the man as a pawn has been exposed, and Soldier Boy hates betrayal more than anything. Homelander seizes the moment to confess to the media, "The truth is, Soldier Boy is my father." The reporters erupt in an uproar the second they hear this, and press Soldier Boy on whether he's met Homelander's son, Ryan, and if there are any plans for the three generations to team up. People magazine even dubs them the sexiest dynasty family in American history. Now that we've mentioned little Ryan, how can we not check in on him? The camera cuts to a house in Sudza, Russia. A squad of fully armed Russian soldiers searches each room with extreme caution. Empty cookie bags endorsed by firecracker litter the floor, proving someone has been living here. They spray gunfire for ages, but see no sign of an enemy. Instead, the screams of their comrades echo non-stop. Within minutes, only one soldier remains alive.
Please. I have family. I love Imagine Dragons. Please.
I'm sorry. No one can know I was here.
No one expected Ryan to be hidden in Russia. Cut back. Vought's press conference is over. The tension between father and son plummets to an all-time low.
Come on. I would never have sent you in there. If I knew the Butcher had the virus, I wouldn't have. I swear to God.
Meanwhile, Butcher and the crew see the alive and kicking Soldier Boy on the news, and are pulling their hair out in frustration. Samir quickly realizes Soldier Boy's blood contains Compound V Generation 1, the first iteration of Compound V developed by Vought's founder, Frederick Vought. Compared to modern Compound V, the first generation is roughly 10 times more potent, because it's extremely unstable. It only worked on the earliest batch of soups. Besides Soldier Boy, there were also Bombsight, Torpedo, Private Angel, and Stormfront. Soldier Boy isn't familiar with Stormfront, so the wise man gives a quick explanation. Stormfront was Dr. Vought's wife, but at the end of Season 2, she tortured Ryan, triggering his powers, and was ultimately maimed and killed by Butcher. All in all, the super virus Samir developed has no effect on Generation 1 Compound V. Thankfully, even though Homelander is Soldier Boy's son, he was only injected with regular Compound V, so the virus still works on him. To keep the upper hand, we have to find Generation 1 Compound V, but Vought destroyed every last stockpile on the market. No one knows if any Generation 1 Compound V still exists. Butcher thinks, to be safe, they should act immediately to draw Homelander out, and kill him with the virus before he finds Generation 1 Compound V. But Homelander has been holed up in Vought Tower lately. Instead of wasting time waiting, we should hunt down and destroy Generation 1 Compound V first. Right now, it's a race. Whoever finds this stuff first will win. Obviously, Soldier Boy has no intention of helping. He'd love to see Homelander die a horrible death, so he can take over the Seven and be the boss.
Look at you. Just the softest, wettest boy. You're pathetic. You're nothing at all.
Cut to Starlight leading the crew to an abandoned factory on the outskirts. They walk in and run straight into Newman and Samir's daughter, Zoe. The girl is extremely aggressive, but Stan quickly subdues her. Stan is Newman's adoptive father and the former CEO of Vought International. Starlight cuts to the chase, and demands he spill everything he knows about Generation 1 Compound V. No one expected Stan to already know Generation 1 Compound V is immune to the virus, but he has no intention of helping.
But why should I help the friends of a deranged man who murdered my daughter and orphaned my granddaughter?
Starlight and the crew know they're in the wrong, which is why they didn't bring Butcher along. And putting personal grudges aside, Generation 1 Compound V not only makes you immune to the virus but also grants immortality. If Homelander gets his hands on it, we're all doomed sooner or later. So Mother's Milk begs Stan to put the greater good first. Stan is convinced and leads them into an underground bunker, but the second they step inside, they catch a whiff of a strange odor.
Smells like an Abercrombie got fucked by a 7-Eleven while Arby's jerked off in the corner.
It's Vibro Mango Thunder Body Spray. Fuck!
This guy with the weirdly sweet scent is Maverick, the son of the original Translucent. He was studying at Godalkin University for soups. His father, Translucent, was brutally murdered, and Stan told him Homelander was the killer, so Maverick left Godalkin and went into hiding here. Little does he know, someone else killed his dad.
Translucent?
That's right, Huey blew up Translucent, and he's feeling extremely guilty right now.
Wow, Homelander. Ugh, God, fuck that fucking motherfucker. I've been saying it for years. This fucking
guy.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Turns out, during his disappearance, Stan focused on raising a new generation of Supes. He reveals that after Dr. Vought left the Nazis and joined the Allies, he continued using active-duty U.S. soldiers as test subjects for Generation 1 Compound V. His experiment killed thousands of people. In the end, only 5 successful subjects were created. Back then, the US was in an arms race with Russia, so they turned a blind eye to Vaught's actions. By the 1950s, the formula was finally stabilized. Vought never spoke of Generation 1 Compound V again, destroyed every last batch, and covered up this dark history entirely. According to Stan's intel, there should be no Generation 1 Compound V left in the world. Zoe doesn't want to deal with these adults and tries to leave early. Huey hurries after her. After all, he had a relationship with Newman. He can't just ignore Zoe.
You promised that we'd be safe. Then I woke up alone to see my mom ripped in half.
I'm sorry.
Then I got chucked into Red River because my dad is probably dead too. So go fuck yourself.
After Zoe exits the building through an underground tunnel, she texts an unknown number. Seconds later, Ryan drops down from the sky. He rushed over from the Russian border, with the blood of those soldiers still on his face. Zoe tells him Starlight and the others are here. We can follow her to find Butcher and kill him to avenge my mother. But Ryan doesn't want Zoe to risk her life, and a part of him doesn't want to hurt Butcher. Zoe huffs and storms back underground. Meanwhile, Ryan senses someone approaching.
You think I couldn't smell the Tanqueray in your breath?
Turns out Butcher guessed Ryan would stay in touch with the girl he likes, so he's been lying in wait. If Ryan didn't show up soon, he would have kidnapped Zoe and taken her phone.
Zoe was right about you. Maybe I should just put you out of your misery.
You could. But you won't.
And why is that?
Because we both love the same woman.
Ryan knows his mom loved Butcher deeply, and hates Homelander for raping his mom and conceiving him. You could say he and Butcher share the same goal. Elsewhere, Homelander is on the verge of a mental breakdown from his father's earlier words.
Fucking disappointment. Disappointment. The pitiful disappointment you are. You pathetic. Weak. You're my greatest failure.
As he wallows in defeat, the curtain beside him suddenly pulls open, and Angel appears in a golden glow. Of course, this is just Homelander's hallucination. Madeline has nothing to do with angels. Does anyone remember she was Vaught's vice president before she died? She exploited Homelander's lifelong lack of love, playing the dual role of mother and lover, even breastfeeding him to satisfy his Oedipus complex, keeping him firmly under her control.
What is wrong? Why are you so unhappy?
My father and my son. Everything. It's all falling apart.
No, it's exactly what needed to happen. Yes, it's been foretold. You're about to ascend.
The imaginary Madeline tells Homelander, to achieve immortality and divine right, you must break free from these emotional bonds. Homelander retorts, what about the millions who hate me? Madeline smiles faintly. Then you drown the disloyal in their own sea of blood, tear infants from their mother's wombs, skin parents alive. In front of their children, eradicate everyone in this world who doesn't worship you.
You have one last task, my love.
After this twisted self-reassurance, Homelander finally regains his composure, so he calls Soldier Boy over. The latter is shocked to see him submerged in a white liquid. Homelander explains it's breast milk from the neonatal intensive care unit, and I called you here to give you one more chance to help me find Generation 1 Compound V.
You've been blessed with immortality. And what have you done with it? Drink and fuck yourself numb. You are a disappointment.
Homelander will not waste this opportunity. He must obtain Generation 1 Compound V to achieve immortality. A great reckoning is coming. Soldier Boy has to pick a side. Cut back to Stan's bunker. Mother's Milk flips through countless files and finds Fortress Harmony mentioned repeatedly, but the text about it is encrypted. He thinks he should be able to crack it. After all, 1944 encryption technology is ancient, probably less advanced than a modern toaster. Mother's Milk suddenly smells a sharp, sweet scent. It turns out Maverick is spraying his overpowered fragrance again. The kid is pretty pitiful, because this fragrance was endorsed by Translucent. That's why he sprays it constantly. He just wants to remember the smell of his father. Huey is racked with guilt over killing Translucent. He doesn't want Maverick to throw his life away against Homelander out of hatred. He lost his own father too. He knows the only way to deal with losing a loved one is to let go.
Live your life. Be happy. Fall in love with someone.
I do have a girlfriend.
Really?
Sloane. She's an alpaca.
Cool, just maybe think about what your dad would want for you.
Starlight quickly pulls Huey aside, afraid he'll confess out of guilt. Meanwhile, Mother's Milk finds some files are too heavily encrypted. He tells Frenchie to borrow a scanner from Butcher. A high enough resolution might let them read some of the hidden text. Little do they know Butcher has another plan. He wants Ryan to lure Homelander out, then release the virus on him, because Homelander will never leave his self-imposed fortress for anyone but Ryan.
I throw this virus at him. What'll happen to me?
He'll die. I'll be close by and we'll go together. I ain't gonna lie to you, this is not what your mum wanted. But it's the only way. And it will be justice.
Sacrificing himself to save the world is far too cruel for a child. As Ryan thinks it over, Butcher quietly slips a device into his pocket. No one knows what he's planning. Ryan knows he has hurt too many people along the way. Maybe without Soups, the world will return to normal, so he finally agrees to help Butcher. Meanwhile, Homelander sends a team to track Starlight. He originally only planned to send Black Noir, Cindy, and Terror, but the Deep, feeling neglected by his boss, forces his way into the mission. No need to mention Terror. His super sense of smell makes him an excellent tracker, but the Deep has no idea where this Cindy came from. Cindy was born at Maplewood Farm. Her parents died in a giant wave of maple syrup when she was 5. She was later sent to Vought and injected with Compound V. She awakened the power to manipulate pressure and crush enemies from a distance. It's worth noting that the molasses tsunami in the line isn't fictional. In 1919, a molasses storage tank ruptured in Boston, USA. The thick molasses formed a giant wave that engulfed the neighborhood, causing heavy casualties. On the other side, Mother's Milk finally makes a discovery. Fortress Harmony was an army hospital. Frederick Vought worked there. The government classified it top secret and shut it down after the war. This is likely where Vought tested Generation 1 Compound V.
If there's any more left out there, that would be the fucking place to look.
Needless to say, Black Noir and his team have arrived. Stan tells everyone not to panic. They're 27 meters under solid concrete. The door is the same grade as the NORAD bunker. There's no way these people can break in. But the next second, Cindy crumples the door, shocked. Stan notices Zoe is gone. The girl had overheard Frenchie going to Butcher for the scanner, so she hid in the van and followed them to Butcher's lab. Zoe sneaks inside, sees a figure, and immediately attacks. The figure turns around. It's her father, Samir. Frenchie is still scanning the encrypted files, unaware of the incident. The high resolution successfully reveals the hidden text, but the next second, Samir bursts in. Butcher lied to him, saying Newman was killed by Homelander and his daughter died horribly. Samir created the virus out of despair. Now the truth is out. He's going to destroy the lab to avenge his wife. Frenchie pulls a gun, ready to stop them. Kimiko steps in and lets Samir and Zoe leave. She knows Zoe just wants to grow up with her family. Cut to Stan, unable to reach his granddaughter, leaving her a voicemail, telling Zoe not to return to the bunker for now. The bunker's secret exit is now blocked by Black Noir. They have no way out and must prepare to fight. Mother's Milk follows Stan to get weapons and finds a whole case of platinum cigars. These cost $500 each. They decide to smoke one first. It might be their last pleasure before death. Stan doesn't believe Mother's Milk and the others can save the world. Even if they kill Soldier Boy and Homelander, when Soups are no longer in power, something else will just take their place.
Because corporations must still grow. Money must still be made. The machine must still be fed. That is the way of the world.
Mother's Milk catches the implication that you plan to take over Vought once Homelander falls, but he can't be bothered. To argue with Stan, he quickly brings out a case of halothane grenades, then teaches Maverick how to use them, hoping he can use his invisibility to take down the men outside first. Everyone stares nervously at the monitors. Maverick successfully slips out through the secret exit. He avoids Black Noir and approaches Cindy, who's destroying the door, but the next second, Terror grabs him. Even though he's invisible, his scent is far too strong. Terror's nose burns from the stench and hurls him straight to the deep.
You were one of my dad's best friends. How come you never told me it was Homelander that killed him?
Bro, Homelander didn't kill your dad. It was Butcher's crew. You know, it's that sus French student, Starlight's boyfriend. What's his name? Want to see Howie?
The Deep explains they stuffed explosives up your dad's ass, blowing Translucent to pieces from the inside out. Furious, Maverick unlocks the security door for them. Stan sees the danger and flees at once, taunting Starlight and the others goodbye.
I mean, instant karma, but fuck.
Black Noir locks Stan in the car to head back and report. The Deep suddenly pulls the pin on a halothane grenade and tosses it in, knocking out both Stan and Black Noir. He then throws Black Noir out of the driver's seat and drives off, probably trying to steal Black Noir's credit. At the same time, Starlight and the others prepare to exit through the front door, only for Terror to suddenly lunge at them. Starlight and Mother's Milk take down Terror together, but Huey is caught red-handed by Maverick. With no way out, he has to admit he killed Translucent.
I mean, cold comfort, but I killed my dad too.
Fucking psycho!
Just wait!
Huey explains that his ex-girlfriend died because of your father. That's why I killed him in a rage. But killing doesn't solve anything, unfortunately. Maverick couldn't listen to anything and relied on his invisibility to beat up Huey severely. Just then, Cindy catches up. As Starlight stands confused, Huey crawls out from behind the bed. It turns out Maverick was the one who got crushed. Once again, the ordinary Huey survives until the end. Cut to Homelander ordering the Wise Man to send all crime analytics teams to find Generation 1 Compound V. The entire pharmaceutical division of Vought must halt all current work and focus on recreating the Generation 1 formula, and they can skip animal testing entirely, using prisoners from Liberty Camp as test subjects. Homelander happily takes a sip of milk afterward. Ever since he got hospital breast milk supplies, he's barely paid attention to Firecracker, so she takes the chance to hook up with Soldier Boy, and just like that, Homelander gets cucked by his own father.
Well, he thinks he's better than me.
He doesn't. I don't know much, but I can read people. And the way he looks at you, shoot. I ain't never seen him look at nobody like that.
Meanwhile, Butcher brings Ryan back to the lab, only to learn the virus was destroyed by Samir, and that Kimiko let him escape.
You thought I'll never make more. So back off.
With no virus left, the plan to have Ryan lure Homelander is put on hold, but Ryan believes Homelander will destroy everything if they wait any longer. He can go face him right now in a final fight.
Not without the virus.
But you said I was strong enough.
I just said that, so you get him out of tower. Without that germ, you'd just be another stupid kid on a fucking suicide run.
All this time, Butcher's words about how strong you are, and you're the chosen one were just lies to trick him into sacrificing himself. Crushed with disappointment, Ryan leaves Butcher and heads to Vought Tower despite warnings. Homelander is overjoyed to see his son, and even puts on a show of apologizing to Ryan, saying he shouldn't have forced him to do things he didn't want to. But now Homelander has found a way to live forever. He no longer needs to force Ryan to take his place. He can do whatever he wants. Ryan ignores the sweet talk and only wants to know if Homelander raped his mother. Homelander denies it, of course.
Your heart's racing.
Well, yeah, because I'm shocked that you could think I would do something like that. Ryan.
Homelander insists again, it was just a consensual affair. And your mother made the first move. Ryan won't let anyone slander his mother, and attacks repeatedly. Finally enraging Homelander, he pins his son down and beats him to a bloody pulp. When Butcher arrives, he only finds Ryan lying motionless on the ground. Thankfully, Homelander didn't deliver a killing blow. The poor kid is still breathing. Homelander is in his office calming down, when suddenly the Deep shows up with Stan. Homelander steps forward and grabs his head.
We have much to discuss.
Elsewhere, Frenchie figures out from the scanner decrypted files that a troop of Boy Scouts was found dead in the woods near Fortress Harmony in 1963. There's definitely something strange going on there. Starlight doesn't want Huey to risk his life again and decides to go check it out herself. That's the story of the latest episode of The Boys. To everyone who enjoys this show, don't forget to like, bookmark, and follow. Stay updated for new episodes. Your support is what keeps us going. Homelander and his father break out into a fierce quarrel once again.
Where are you going? I'm gonna go destroy any V1 that I find, you triple crown cock jockey. Why? You don't get it, do you? How much I can't fucking stand you.
Homelander is locked in a uranium cell by his biological father. The whole boys team falls into internal strife and breaks out in battle. Powerful new superhumans make their grand debut.
You are nothing but a coward.
I said shut your fucking mouth!
Firecracker, who has just cheated, comes to the office with a guilty conscience to meet Homelander.
What's that smell? That's my father. That's Soldier Boy. I can smell him all over you.
Firecracker hurries to explain that she just finished an interview with Soldier Boy. She might have accidentally gotten his scent on her. Luckily, Homelander doesn't pursue the matter. He firmly believes he has received a revelation from an angel. He's determined to become the god of this world. Firecracker is best at manipulating public opinion. She's the perfect person to spread the news of his ascension to godhood.
What do you say?
Well, you know I would do anything for you, sir.
Firecracker is very flustered inside, yet she dares not show the slightest hesitation on her face. She plans to go ask Ashley for advice, but Ashley is occupied at the moment.
Hun. Your super scream.
Although Ashley's marriage to father is only a contractual one, she wants to boost her campaign ratings. Through his worship church, the two still enjoy a harmonious married life, but the church run by father has suffered a huge financial loss recently.
How do you lose money on a megachurch? You bring in hundreds of millions and don't pay taxes.
Attendance is down. Donations are drying up.
Firecracker shows up in time to interrupt their argument and immediately calls a meeting. They discuss how to make citizens believe Homelander is a god. It's clear that Jesus' approach of being approachable and caring for the poor has no selling point in modern society. They need to build a church that highly praises Americans.
America is God's government, and we are his chosen people. Manifest destiny from sea to shining sea and shit.
Meanwhile, Soldier Boy is talking with Sage. He learns from Sage that Stan has told Homelander V1 might be hidden in Harmony Fortress. Homelander is getting ready to set off. Sage thinks Soldier Boy can go with him. After all, it was in Harmony Fortress that Soldier Boy was injected with V1. No one knows the place better than him. As for Ryan, he regains consciousness under Butcher's watch, before the virus is newly developed. Butcher warns Ryan not to take any more reckless risks, but the moment he turns around to get some water, the boy disappears. Butcher hates dealing with teenagers the most. He decides to leave Ryan alone for now, and focus on developing the virus. Frenchie is working overtime to develop it, but it will still take at least several weeks. Huey is worried about Starlight acting alone. He thinks they should head to Harmony Fortress, while the virus replicates, though the place was shut down 80 years ago. The gruesomely dead bodies found nearby suggest there might be people infected by V1 hiding there. The group immediately sets off. When they arrive near the destination, they notice there are no birds or animals in this desolate place. The vast forest is deadly silent, filled with an indescribable eeriness. As they are talking, Huey trips over a stone. He looks up and locks eyes with a dead body. Judging from the degree of decay, the corpse has been exposed here for quite some time. Something has torn their bodies to pieces. No matter what kind of monster the killer is, it's probably still hiding in this forest. When the group reaches the front of Harmony Fortress, they realizes what they have seen earlier is only a small part. This place is truly littered with corpses, with dead small animals everywhere. Intestines and internal organs are splattered all over the ground. The interior of Harmony Fortress is also dilapidated, covered in cobwebs and dust. Frenchie finds a layout map in a drawer. He discovers that there's also a basement here. Something as important as V1 may be hidden in the underground laboratory. Just as they are heading for the basement, Homelander and Soldier Boy also arrive near Harmony Fortress. Soldier Boy mocks that his son's ugly cape is just to cover his sagging big buttocks. Homelander is left speechless after hearing this. I already said I could fly you here on my back. You're the one who refused to be carried. Though Homelander puts on a tough front, he's secretly pleased that Soldier Boy agrees to help. He also wonders what has made his father change his mind.
Firecracker said you looked up to me. Guess you're not a complete idiot.
Homelander refuses to admit that he admires his father, and quickly changes the subject. He asks why Soldier Boy has looked strange when Clara is mentioned the other day. Could it be that you have some kind of connection with Clara? Unexpectedly, Soldier Boy has also slept with Clara. Homelander is completely stunned on the spot.
And, I guess we're related in more ways than one.
Inside Harmony Fortress, Butcher's group has already made it down to the basement. As soon as they reach the entrance, they see a ground full of withered corpses. Thick vines are crawling all over them. Judging from the state of decomposition, the bodies have been here for at least 10 years. They are covered with knife wounds all over their bodies. It's clear that they died from killing each other. Frenchie can't help thinking of a type of toxoplasmosis. It's a parasite hidden in cat feces that can infect humans. It will drive the infected into rage and mania. If V1 has seeped into the groundwater, it will likely cause plants to mutate. In other words, the substances emitted by these vines can drive humans to kill one another. Then the mutated plants can feed on the corpses.
Okay, so like The Last of Us?
No, that is just The Walking Dead with mushrooms.
What Frenchie says really makes sense, because they've already quarreled over a trivial matter upstairs just now. It's obvious that their emotions are being affected, but Frenchie has kept a clear mind all along. He guesses that it's probably because he's abused drugs for decades, and his mind has long been abnormal. That's why he's become the most normal one among them now. Right after he finishes speaking, Butcher notices Homelander has appeared. He's about to rush out to fight him head-on immediately. Running out there is no different from walking straight to their deaths.
Neither of you are thinking straight.
Get that fucking gun out of my face, Frenchie.
Frenchie quickly explains that if they rush out now, they will definitely be killed by Homelander and Soldier Boy. If that happens, no one will be able to stop him from getting V1. The two finally calm down after hearing his words. Frenchie then takes out something and sprays it all over their bodies.
It's their urine. Hunters use it to attract prey, but we will use it to hide our scent from Homelander.
Although this method works well, Butcher and MM would rather die than give in. MM takes out a strange device and places it on the wall. No one knows what this thing is used for. The five of them keep rummaging around to look for V1, but there's nothing inside the cabinet except some old junk. Just then, MM finds a damaged iron door. After opening it, they unexpectedly see several glass bottles. Only the liquid inside is already gone.
Motherfucker beat us to it. Not too long ago, neither. They punched 80 years of rust right off the safe.
Frenchie picks up the powder on the ground and tastes it, finding that what's contained inside is drugs. In other words, the person who takes the drugs is likely a very strong drug addict. The only person they can think of is Bombsight. Bombsight is a veteran superhuman, one of the first people injected with V1 by VOD International. He hasn't appeared in the public eye for decades, and no one knows if he's alive or dead. Huey can't help asking, since Bombsight already has V1 inside his body, why would he need more of it? No one present can come up with an answer. Seeing this, people can't help but feel curious. Butcher's group has been wandering around Harmony Fortress for so long, so why haven't they run into Starlight? In fact, Starlight hasn't come to Harmony Fortress yet. Instead, she's gone back to her father's residence first. For the past 20 years, this man has been avoiding Starlight. After meeting this time, Starlight finally learns the reason. It turns out, her father already has another family and another child. Moreover, judging from the photo frames placed at home, her father, who once hated amusement parks so much, would actually spend a long time happily playing with his younger son, not to mention the police uniform hanging in the wardrobe. It means, her father is also one of the people hunting down Starlight's followers. Everything before her eyes fills Starlight with immense disappointment. She's about to leave, but her stepmother insists on asking her to stay for dinner. Starlight has no choice but to go take a shower and change her clothes. Her father also takes the chance to say that he's never taken part in the operation of arresting her followers. He also knows his daughter isn't a serial killer, but the last person who dared to speak up disappeared in the middle of the night. The father still has a wife and children to take care of, so he didn't dare to speak up for his daughter. Starlight admits that she came back this time to bring things to an end. She's afraid she won't have another chance to talk face to face with her father, but what she sees now is completely different from what she imagined. She originally thought her father left home because he disliked married life, but now she realizes her father just didn't like her as his daughter. The man sighs after hearing her words. He takes a paper box out of the cabinet. It's filled with all the newspapers, recording Starlight saving people with her superpowers since she was little. Though he rarely showed it, he'd always been proud of his daughter. The father left back then because he had conflicting views with his wife. Starlight's mother insisted on injecting V1 into their daughter. She was willing to pay any price to get Starlight into the 7. At that time, Starlight was also misled by Vought. He couldn't persuade his wife to give up, so he finally left. In despair,
You never even reached out.
To do what? Shatter your dreams? Keep lying to you?
I didn't take it either. I needed you.
unluckily, it's too late to say anything now. At this point, deafening music blares out from the younger brother's room. Starlight plans to go talk to this young man named Mason. He's listening to a radio show, hosted by the Deep and Black Noir. The two have been on bad terms ever since the credit-stealing incident in the last episode. That's why Black Noir has been playing pranks on the Deep all the time.
Right, Noir?
Fuck you.
Looks like you hit the wrong button there, Brosif.
Bitch. Says what?
What?
It's estimated that the Deep's IQ is about the same as a giant squid. Mason's room is covered with posters of female superheroes.
Your picture was never up there.
Yeah, good. Good. I mean, yeah, no, that's good.
Mason is a die-hard fan of the Seven, so he regards Starlight as a traitor who betrayed America. Starlight has no intention of blaming these teenagers. They attend classes at Homelander Academy every day and scroll through thousands of short videos of the Seven when they get home. Growing up surrounded by all kinds of false information, it's only normal for them to be brainwashed. Starlight knows exactly how to deal with such bratty kids.
Let me guess. Chocolate cream filled every Thursday morning, right? Dad used to take me before school. It's one of the things I miss the most, actually.
Yeah, I feel like he's giving me diabetes.
She closes the distance between them with just a simple sentence, but just then, her father's colleague from the police station shows up uninvited. He says he received a call from Mason a while ago, reporting that Starlight is hiding here.
She's my daughter.
Your daughter?
Jesus Christ, can he ever fucking lie?
I've known you 20 years and you never...
I should have told you.
Starlight's father explains that his daughter isn't a serial killer. He hopes his colleague can pretend to know nothing about it, but the veteran policeman will be finished once this matter is exposed. He rushes into the room regardless of everything, and Starlight also gets into a fighting stance. The two are on the verge of fighting. Starlight's father shouts loudly at once to stop them.
Ed, we sit next to each other in church every Sunday. After Pam died, you ate dinner here for how many months?
Yeah, I know you're scared. I'm scared too, but what Vought's been making us do, pulling people out of their homes, our neighbors.
Annie's my daughter, and I love her. I should have stood up for her a long time ago.
In the end, out of more than 20 years of friendship, the old policeman gives Starlight 1 hour to leave. Otherwise, he will come back with superhuman officers. Inside Harmony Fortress, it feels like Homelander and Soldier Boy have walked for a whole century before finally stepping into the building. The two also see the corpses at the basement entrance.
Ooh, look, more Uggos. Friends of yours?
Shit.
It turns out this small device can detect intruders. directs everyone to retreat and explains that if V1 is in the hands of Bombsight, then they don't need to go out of their way to destroy it. But Huey never said he wanted to destroy V1. He still wants to inject Starlight and Kimiko with it to prevent them from being killed by the super virus.
Homelander will hear
and
us.
You've just been going along with it again.
We can't take the risk, Huey. We ain't got no fucking choice.
Easy for you to say. It won't fucking kill you.
Though the main group often disagrees with each other, their unstable emotions and sudden quarrel under the current situation may be influenced by the mysterious plants. Their voices grow louder and louder, and they even look ready to fight.
I'll fucking kill you.
Please, calm down.
The whole place is thrown into complete chaos. On the other side, Homelander also starts picking a fight with his father. He claims all his talks about honor and courage are nothing but lies. It turns out Homelander read Soldier Boy's file not long ago, he found out that Soldier Boy's elder brother fought bravely and earned the Silver Star Medal during the Yanzio landing. That was why he begged his father. He bribed others to get a chance to take part in Dr. Vought's experiment and obtained the superpowers he has now.
Because it killed you to see your brother dripping in all that glory, making you look all the more feeble in comparison.
At this moment, Soldier Boy's anger reaches its peak.
Oh Christ, what's this shithole now? What are you doing?
Soldier Boy activates a gate on one side. Uranium-emitting eerie light is immediately revealed next to them. What used to lock superhumans right here back in the day. They tested whether these superhumans could survive an atomic bomb explosion. Ordinary people would die within minutes when exposed to uranium of this concentration, but for Homelander, it only burns his skin slightly. The harm is roughly equivalent to a child getting gastroenteritis, but his speed of escaping will definitely be limited. Butcher is searching the whole house for Huey. Unexpectedly, he sees a disheveled Homelander. He rarely sees the man in such a sorry state, so he won't miss this chance. In fact, Butcher knows Homelander very well, so he mocks his plan to become a god, and points out that even if billions of fools are willing to flatter and sing praises to Homelander, Homelander still won't be happy, because deep down, he's just a cowardly, sensitive little boy craving love.
Now you beat the shit out of your own son. Don't get weaker than that.
Butcher deliberately provokes Homelander. Why don't I go get the virus and watch you die painfully? But Homelander sees right through that he doesn't have the virus on him, otherwise, Butcher wouldn't be talking so much nonsense. It has to be said that although the two are at odds, they really understand each other very well. At this point, Huey runs into MM by accident, under the influence of the toxin. The two actually get into a shootout. Huey hides in the dark, waiting for MM to take the bait. Unexpectedly, Kimiko pounces first. He takes advantage of the situation and fires several shots at Kimiko's back, but this kind of damage is just a tickle to Kimiko. MM quickly gets up and knocks her out. Huey dives into an incinerator to hide. Kimiko slams hard against the iron door. Meanwhile, Frenchie is also wandering around the fort. He even stumbles into a room full of vines.
Mon Dieu.
On the other side, in a nearby room, Soldier Boy is rummaging through things. Just as his patience is running out, Frenchie suddenly appears. Such an obvious trap, yet Soldier Boy falls for it easily. Frenchie lures Soldier Boy into the room full of vines. It turns out there's a living person stuck to that wall, and Soldier Boy knows him. His name is Quinn, an early Vought experiment, a plant-based superhuman, imprisoned here for a long time. It's he who releases the rage spores that make people lose control. Frenchie lured Soldier Boy here to use him to kill Quinn, but Soldier Boy is happy to watch the man suffer stuck to the wall, so Frenchie deliberately provokes Soldier Boy.
Should be you up there. Should be your pain. You are nothing but a coward.
I said shut your fucking mouth!
A powerful energy wave dissipates. Everyone finally gets rid of the spore influence and returns to normal. They leave Harmony Fortress by car. The atmosphere is a little awkward, although they were influenced by the spores and turned on each other. That thing only magnified everyone's original dissatisfaction. They really have a lot of complaints about each other. Meanwhile, Homelander struggles to escape the cell and goes to confront Soldier Boy in a rage, only to find the man looking depressed.
The V1 wasn't here. Just fucking do it already.
Homelander's anger fades away for no reason, and he turns to leave. On the other side, Starlight says goodbye to her family. Her younger brother also apologizes for calling the police. She takes one last look at her father and leaves reluctantly, and Huey is very happy to see her come back.
Actually, I'm so glad you weren't super good at this.
The members of the boys apologize to each other and repair the rift caused earlier. MM and Butcher turn on the TV and see that O-Father is announcing to his followers that they will officially embrace the American as their Lord and Prophet. Yet in front of the cheering crowd, there's no smile on Homelander's face. that's the story of the latest episode of The Boys. For those of you who are interested in this show, don't forget to like, favorite, and follow. Stay tuned for updates. Your encouragement is our motivation to update.
You wanna fuck me? You wanna fuck me like a good boy?
The unlucky Homelander wasn't only targeted by a dog, but also knocked down by an ordinary man's bad breath.
What the fuck?
Easy. Fuck this fucking guy. You know, he fucked my life. If you help us get rid of him, then we all win. And you can have the 7.
The chance to seize power was close at hand, yet Soldier Boy didn't harm Homelander.
He is a fucking asexual weirdo.
Yeah.
He's my fucking asexual weirdo. Nobody fucks my son but me.
What?
Now we continue to break down the latest bold and unrestrained episode of The Boys. In the last episode, Homelander wanted to replace Jesus and become a new god, so bots spared no expense in spending $500 million on viral advertising.
America is God's country, and Americans, God's chosen people. So shouldn't we have our own church for Americans, founded by the greatest American of us all, a true American prophet? Come home to the Democratic Church of America.
Although the advertisement was well made, Homelander was dissatisfied with one thing, and that was the title of prophet. A prophet is a messenger of God, not God himself. Firecracker's alarm bells started ringing in her mind, and she quickly brought out her trump card, which was the Homelander Bible.
It's got the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the brand new American Testament, written by AI. See, we need to pass the torch, sir. From Jesus to you.
Firecracker told Homelander not to be impatient. They would first create the identity of a prophet, then push the plan forward step by step, so that the public could accept the birth of a new god. Sage pointed out that sudden religious unrest could easily trigger widespread civil strife. Therefore, Homelander planned to recall all superhumans stationed overseas.
American heroes should be protecting America, not who gives a fuckistan.
Just then, Firecracker received a phone call from Daytona, Florida, and her expression turned very grim for no obvious reason. Daytona, Florida was Firecracker's hometown. The call was from the priest in her hometown. Although Firecracker now claimed she wanted to overthrow Jesus, she'd actually been a devout Christian in the past. She often volunteered at an evangelical church after school. Firecracker was born into a poor family. She only had hot meals to eat thanks to the priest. Now the priest had traveled thousands of miles to this bustling metropolis just to ask Firecracker for help, because their congregation was under pressure, and had all left to join the American Democracy Church. Last week, a superhuman named Mantis showed up and melted the church's stained glass windows. Firecracker knew this Mantis. He could spray acid from the glands on his rear end. The priest had originally not wanted to bother Firecracker, but he had contacted the sheriff, the mayor, and half of Florida's important figures with no results at all, so Firecracker was his last hope.
You still have that Jesus action figure. How could I forget it? You carried it with you everywhere you went. You almost wore the face off the thing. You still carry him?
It's complicated.
The priest saw that Firecracker was trying to avoid the topic. He could only say that if she was still the girl who once listened to his Bible teachings while eating fried fish, she should stop blindly following Homelander and return to her true self, frustrated and agitated. Firecracker could only go to Soldier Boy to pour out her feelings. She was torn deeply inside. The priest was like a father who had raised her. No matter how many people Firecracker had let down, she never wanted to disappoint the priest, so she got up her courage to go find Homelander, but he'd already flown to Los Angeles. Instead, Father was helping Homelander stock up more breast milk. Some believers generously donated their own breast milk to be consumed by their savior. Besides this, Father had already coordinated with the printing house. They were willing to finish printing the new Bible before Easter.
So I wondered why you were so bent on holding it up.
I wasn't. See, I just wanted to make sure everything was just right.
Soon afterward, the assistant came to find Firecracker, reporting that Mantis had attacked 6 churches in Daytona, including the one where the priest served. Homelander sent word, wanting Firecracker to discuss this topic on the show, because he knew it was the church Firecracker once believed in. Her appearance would convey strong confidence to the public. The courage Firecracker had mustered just now vanished completely. She had to resign herself and start today's live show, yet she really couldn't bring herself to read from the teleprompter.
That church has become a hotbed of starlighter infestation, and my old pastor, Reverend Greg Dupree, has been infected.
The lines on the teleprompter grew more and more outrageous. They made Firecracker keep hinting to the audience that the kind and amiable priest was actually a perverted pedophile.
Americans deserve better. They deserve the Democratic Church of America.
The tears Firecracker shed in front of the camera represented her inner breakdown. It was also the last glimmer of her remaining humanity. Now that Firecracker had chosen Homelander's side, she had to keep going. She could never go back to being the small-town girl who was trampled on by others. Not long after Homelander came back, he not only praised Firecracker in the meeting room, but also stopped Mindstorm from picking on the Deep. After all, the Deep had helped capture Stan. Black Noir clenched his fists in anger. Viewers of The Boys all know, the real Black Noir was killed by Homelander back at the end of Season 3, to hide the truth. Vought found a body double to keep playing Black Noir, so this young actor played Black Noir at work during the day, and never gave up on his acting career after work, auditioning for various film crews frequently. One day, Justin went to audition for a drama. Because the role was similar to his own experience at VOD, he soon gained the director's appreciation, but his subsequent performance became a little too intense. Justin quickly explained that the scene had brought back his negative memories. Justin couldn't help complaining about a full-time colleague of his. I treated him like a brother, yet he schemed behind my back and stole all my credit. Upon hearing this, the director suggested Justin quit his full-time job, saying no job was more important than theater. Besides, he secretly told Justin that he used to be a famous director who had filmed a movie for VOD that grossed $1 billion.
There's this fucking guy, the Deep. He just kept upstaging everyone with his trite, shitty improvs.
I heard he's a real baby.
He's a Jared Leto-level baby bitch.
The director had no idea they were actually complaining about the same person, and advised Justin not to give in to his colleague. If that person steals the spotlight from you have to steal it right back. So in the evening, Justin transformed into Black Noir, and went to record a radio show paired with the Deep. Father was the guest of the episode. After the show, he mentioned wanting a trustworthy public figure to guide young men into joining the church. The Deep immediately volunteered himself upon hearing this, but Black Noir cut him off.
Don't listen to him, bro.
Oh, shit. He talks.
He's a joke. That smell on his breath? It's because he's been clam diving. On clams.
What? I have not done that.
The quick-witted Justin successfully persuaded Father to let him go on stage during Easter, and said he could also promote that Homelander had cured his muteness. The Deep had no idea why Justin was suddenly fighting back. He tailed Justin to the theater after work. Justin remained completely unaware, only wanting to thank the director, yet the director said it was the drama and Justin who had saved him. He'd been in a daze ever since getting fired by VOD.
And at first I drowned my sorrows in crack. Nitrous, huffing glue, huffing paint, paint thinners, cough medicine, guns, high-risk sex. But that's not the answer. This play. It saved me. You saved me.
The directors said their script had been recognized, and they had gotten a chance to perform on Broadway. Justin could quit his job and focus entirely on being an actor. After saying that, he went to the bathroom to give Justin time to think. Justin rushed to save the director after hearing this, but it was already too late.
My ass hurts so fucking much.
Justin's mentor left behind a shocking last word. Before dying forever in the bathroom, filled with rage, he immediately went to settle accounts with the Deep.
You are gonna fucking do whatever I say, whenever I say it. I'm gonna tell Homelander you were in some pussy play.
Justin panted with anger but could do nothing to the Deep. On the other side, Butcher's English bulldog named Terror was lying on the bed dreaming.
Good boy.
You wanna fuck me? You wanna fuck me like a good boy?
It turned out the main skill Butcher had trained it for was to hump anything on command. Terror also had a toy dressed in Homelander's costume, which was used specially for humping training.
You know what? I am gonna do us all a favor and wash this. Terror, your boyfriend is about to become a virgin all over again.
After eating and drinking enough, Terror wandered around. From its perspective, we could hear that Butcher and the others still hadn't found any clues about bombsite. Just then, MM's chocolate fell on the ground. Terror immediately ran over to snatch it. Butcher quickly grabbed Terror. Meanwhile, picked up the chocolate casually and kept eating, showing none of his former obsession with cleanliness. This made Butcher feel very awkward.
I spent my whole life going after Soldier Boy for what he did to my family. Yet, he's immortal. He's immune. Kind of fucking cosmic joke is that?
In fact, had simply grown disheartened and couldn't be bothered to care about such trivial things anymore. After listening to the two men's complaints, Terror went to rummage through the trash can again. Meanwhile, Huey ran over and argued with Butcher. He still believed that once they found V1, they should inject it into Starlight and Kimiko first, but Butcher couldn't risk the lives of millions of people. Once he found V1, he would destroy it at once.
What if it was Becca? You just let her die?
I did let her die.
Huey regretted using Butcher's wife as an example. He could only soften his tone and ask Butcher to give it a try. He really couldn't bear to watch Starlight die. While the two were arguing, Terror ate the chocolate cake. Butcher quickly pried open its mouth and told Huey to pour hydrogen peroxide inside, irritated by the liquid. Terror threw up all the chocolate.
Hey, you want some turkey? Well, first you gotta fuck me. Then I'll give you the turkey.
Oi. There he is, eh?
Terror was the family member Butcher trusted the most. After the accident just now, he began to understand Huey's feelings a little. So Huey said if they really found V1, and it was harmless to superhumans, you could leave some for Starlight and Kimiko. But once Frenchie's virus was successfully developed, I would put it into immediate use, no matter whether you were ready or not.
And as for you, don't you ever fucking do that to me again, alright?
The next character to focus on was Sage. It was mentioned in the earlier VOT meeting that Homelander wanted to recall superhumans from other countries, so Sage passed this troublesome matter on to Ashley.
Well, isn't it kinda sorta your fault for being invaded? You might as well have been wearing a short skirt. Man, those Ukrainians sure have a fucking mouth on them.
Although Ashley obeyed and did as she was told, she really couldn't understand why Sage didn't stop Homelander. As soon as the news came out, VOT's stock price almost hit rock bottom. The international market kept falling like a free fall, yet Sage looked completely indifferent, saying everything would follow Homelander's wishes, and even asked Ashley if she wanted a drink.
Come on. What do you want from me, Sage?
I know you know what Homelander's doing.
He's going after the V1. Wait, what?
And if he gets any,
he lives forever. What is V1?
Everyone might remember that Ashley injected herself with Compound V at the end of Season 4. The power she awakened was a second face. This face had its own independent consciousness. It couldn't only speak, but also use telepathy. Sage already had enough trouble waiting on Homelander every day, and didn't want to work for him until the day she died, so she wanted to stop Homelander from finding V1. Moreover, she thought dealing with Homelander wasn't the main problem. The biggest wildcard was actually Soldier Boy. Therefore, Sage wanted Deformed Face to use mind reading on Soldier Boy to first figure out what they were going to do next, and what Soldier Boy's true attitude toward Homelander was.
Okay, I'm in. The fuck you are? We are not conspiring against Homelander. What do you think happens to you if I die? I'm not about to risk my neck because I let an overgrown boil do my thinking for me.
Although Ashley had a firm attitude, one mustn't forget, she was up against the smartest person in the world. Sage knew the person Ashley admired the most was her mother, so she deliberately got her drunk and set the mood, then steered the conversation toward Ashley's mother.
I used to want to be like my mom. Strong. Pushy as fuck. Didn't take shit from anyone.
You still can.
Fuck you. You knew about my mom the whole time. You drew it out of me just to soften me up.
Ashley refused to be a chess piece on Sage's board, unless she confessed what exactly her plan was. Sage said plainly that helping Homelander take control of America was only the first stage of her plan. The second stage was what Sage truly desired. She intended to unleash a virus designed to kill superhumans. once superhumans realized humans were behind it all, the situation would descend into total chaos. Superhumans would slaughter humans, while the virus wiped out superhumans. A new world war would break out as a result, and Sage would watch them destroy themselves from the safety of a comfortable bunker.
And when it's all over, I can read all day, every day. No one bothering me. Nothing but peace and quiet forever. Which is why Homelander can't survive.
It turned out Sage wanted to get rid of Homelander simply because he was very annoying and never gave anyone time off.
Don't worry. You're invited to my bunker.
Sage's grand plan to destroy the world was put aside for the time being. Her next target was none other than Soldier Boy. Not only Sage, but many others were curious about what Soldier Boy was really planning. Right after the Vought meeting that day, Homelander was in an unusually irritable mood. He had pressed Stan for answers many times, yet Stan still insisted he had no idea where V1 was. His heart rate remained steady, not like someone lying, but Soldier Boy said that Stan could stay perfectly calm even when lying. It would be better to let me talk to him.
Well, you don't trust me? Well, you did lock me in a room with nuclear material and,
You could have killed me at Fort Harmony, but you didn't. Maybe I feel like I owe you.
Well, maybe you're lying.
Seeing Homelander still hesitating, Soldier Boy suggested Homelander could come along if he didn't trust him, and he only needed 1 hour alone with Stan. As soon as Soldier Boy met Stan, he immediately asked why Vought had betrayed him to the Soviets back then. Stan admitted that the original superhero team had long been dissatisfied with Soldier Boy's brutality and arbitrary behavior, and Vought had found Homelander, who held far greater potential, so they turned a blind eye when Black Noir, Crimson Countess, and others knocked Soldier Boy unconscious and handed him over to the Soviet army. During the Nicaragua mission in 1984, he never expected Homelander to be nothing but a failure too. After becoming the leader of the Seven, he'd never done anything interesting or creative. Homelander was greatly displeased upon hearing this. Am I not creative enough, when I'm already on the verge of becoming a god?
Nothing that the lowest speck of this pointless species couldn't have thought of, were they to be granted your level of power. Why am I still alive?
And I always wanted a pet.
Perhaps. Or is it because you are so desperate for daddy figures that you can't even bring yourself to kill the ones who hate you?
Stan is probably one of the few characters who isn't afraid of Homelander. Soldier Boy cut the two off, explaining that he had the nerds in the crime analysis unit track down his granddaughter Zoe and her father. The two were now hiding in Tempe, Arizona.
So, where is the V1?
With Zoe's life on the line, Stan had no choice but to give in. Though he truly didn't know where V1 was, there was someone who likely did. That was Mr. Marathon in Los Angeles. He'd always been deeply interested in Vaught's history. Mr. Marathon was once a member of the Seven, but he was eventually forced into retirement because his speed couldn't match A-Train's. What's more, it was Homelander himself who fired him back then. Luckily, Marathon lived well after leaving Vought. He collaborated with other film production companies and starred in several hit movies. He was also now the fastest drug delivery dealer in Los Angeles. One look at Mr. Marathon's luxury mansion was enough to tell he was very wealthy. Mr. Marathon warmly took the two to meet his friends. These friends were all Easter eggs for this episode. The one wearing glasses was the show's executive producer. Marathon and the man in the blue top were actors from Supernatural. The one who looked a little like translucent was Kumail Nanjiani. The man in the raglan sleeve shirt was Will Forte. The one in black was Christopher Mintz-Plasse. It could be called a star-studded gathering, but Homelander had no interest in socializing. He pointed out they'd come here to find the whereabouts of V1. No one expected Mr. Marathon actually knew the inside story. He revealed that the only remaining V1 was in the hands of Bombsight. That drug addict Bombsight was one of Marathon's regular clients. One day he got high and accidentally let slip information about V1. Marathon suggested the two wait here, while he made up an excuse to lure Bombsight over. He also took the chance to complain about Homelander to Soldier Boy.
One time at Ledoux, Misha Barton wanted to suck him off, right? He spent 2 hours talking to her about Nietzsche, then left when she stepped on his cape.
Oh, that fucking cape.
Like a baby with a blanket.
Say that again.
Oh, can't you take a fucking joke?
Homelander's patience had already run out. Moreover, he'd long heard these losers badmouthing him behind his back. He had only endured this long for the sake of V1.
Homelander. Sorry, quick question.
What?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Marathon immediately signaled Soldier Boy to stay calm. "We have no grudge against you, and have no desire for conflict, but Homelander has ruined the lives of everyone here. If you help us get rid of him, you can take charge of the 7 legitimately."
So if we kill him, we can stop worrying about being cops or gods or asexual weirdos. You know, we can go back to fucking and being fucking awesome.
He's my fucking asexual weirdo. Nobody fucks my son but me.
What?
That came out wrong.
Soldier Boy snapped Malchemical's neck in an instant. The others were no match for him at all. Only Mr. Marathon's super speed was tricky, but Soldier Boy quickly came up with a plan.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you out of here, but you need to do exactly as I say. Go, go.
He grabbed these losers as human shields to buy time, then broke into Marathon's collection room. Soldier Boy had seen several cans of baby oil here, and now they could be put to good use. The second Marathon sprinted in, he slipped and fell.
Does bomb site really have it?
Oh, God! Yes, okay, yes, the power's true, I swear to fucking God, man.
Though Marathon knew Bombsight had V1, he hadn't been in touch with him for 5 years, so he had no idea where he was now. Just then, Homelander regained consciousness and stomped Marathon's head to a pulp. Soldier Boy said that while Homelander was passed out, Marathon had insisted over and over that V1 was with Bombsight. I don't think the bastard was lying.
Also, I've been fucking Firecracker. But, out of respect for you, that's done. Plus her pillow talk was getting to be a real drag.
Simply put, no matter how much Soldier Boy resented Homelander, he couldn't deny it. He saw his own reflection in Homelander, both violent, starved for affection, hiding vulnerability behind power. A son, no matter how messed up, is still his own, and no one else gets to kill him. And Firecracker's mistake was running her mouth to Soldier Boy. She threw away the statue of Jesus and returned home, only to find Homelander sitting on the couch.
How's sex with my father?
I never meant to cross the line or offend you.
No. Don't fret, little one. I don't care about the sex. Really.
But I do care about your little chats after sex.
Homelander saw Firecracker's inner turmoil and struggle, as proof she'd betrayed him and still believed in Jesus.
I need you to collect your things and leave.
But I do believe in you. I love you. I'm the only one here who ever has. I gave you everything. I gave you my soul. And everybody else here, they're just scared of you.
Firecracker could have had a fighting chance, but she just talked too much. Homelander hated nothing more than people pointing out he wasn't loved at all. One wonders if Homelander will ever regret it, because Firecracker truly admired you, thanked you for giving her the Vought anchor spot, letting her into the 7 as your right-hand woman, allowing her to stand above Starlight, who'd once hurt her, at least in that moment, when Firecracker threw the statue into the trash. You truly were her god. That's the end of this episode. For those of you interested in the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow to stay updated on new episodes. Your support keeps us going. Soldier Boy saved Homelander. They also found out that V1 was in the hands of Bombsight, so the current situation has become, whoever finds Bombsight first will seize the initiative. Therefore went to Vought Cinema, and found the legend who worked here. He was once a senior executive of Vought in the early days. He was responsible for covering up scandals, and handling public relations crises for superheroes. But he was later abandoned by Vought, and reduced to an ordinary worker. This man used to take drugs with Bombsight in his early years, so politely asked him to help make contact.
Let me make this clear. You either help us, or I cut your fucking balls off.
You sound like Butcher now. You know that? Having said that, I do still need my balls for stuff.
The legend agreed to find a way to pass a message to Bombsight. On the other side, Homelander was inspecting the progress of his D-Team's replication of V1, but the effect was far from ideal. After the test subject was injected, blood gushed from his anus and he died seconds later. Just then the Deep came to ask about the whereabouts of Firecracker, because it was almost time for her show to air.
Firecracker has moved on to a better place. Orlando?
Homelander really didn't want to pay attention to this foolish creature. Sage took the chance to change the subject. He told the Deep they had a task for him. Some protesters blocked Vought's oil pipeline located in the Bering Sea.
Someone in Africa.
Just off the coast of Alaska.
It turned out Homelander's savior remarks had angered the Saudis, so they decided to completely cut off oil supplies to the US. Therefore this oil pipeline is very important. Sage needed the Deep to drive away the protesters and shoot a public service announcement to prove that marine life is very fond of this pipeline. Seeing Homelander still staring at the corpse on the ground, Sage could only apologize for being unable to replicate V1, though their progress was hindered. Frenchie's super virus had been successfully developed. Butcher decided to find an opportunity to release the virus immediately. Judging from the new Savior promotional video released by Vought, Homelander would hold a sermon once a week. Butcher could hide the timed virus in the church and spray it suddenly all over Homelander's face, but Huey hadn't found V1 yet. He hoped Butcher could wait a while. As soon as the words were spoken, MM showed up with the legend.
Starlight, you remind me of a young Ursula Andress. Timeless beauty. She pissed on me once.
Huey cut him off and hurriedly asked how to find Bombsite. The legend pointed out that Bombsite had a trusted woman named Geisha. If you want to contact him, finding that woman is definitely the right way. Unluckily, Geisha lives in Vought Village. It's a soup nursing home with strict security measures. The group immediately split up to act separately. Huey and Starlight went to the church to set up the super virus. Butcher and the others headed to the nursing home. With the help of his connections, the legend easily took Kimiko into the nursing home, and they soon found Geisha.
There aren't enough rubbers on Earth for me to fuck you again.
Just here to talk.
Seeing the tense atmosphere between the two, Kimiko quickly changed the subject and explained their purpose. But Geisha said she hadn't seen Bombsite for years, and told them to leave at once. After saying that, she called a fire-breathing helper to drive them away. Kimiko didn't want to fight the elderly, so she had to leave with the legend first. Butcher decided to capture Geisha and throw her into the van after she fell asleep in the evening, then use her as a hostage to force Bombsite to show up. Knowing Butcher well, the legend thought this move was inappropriate.
Butcher, there's no way this doesn't end bloody.
A week from now, all them geezers will be pushing daisies anyway.
The fuck does that mean?
The legend instinctively sensed danger and didn't want to get involved in this matter any further. At the same time, the timid Ashley was being unreasonable. Although Deformed Face agreed to cooperate with Sage, she wasn't bold enough to use mind reading on Soldier Boy. But Sage had expected this all along.
Plan B it is.
Sage drugged Ashley and knocked her out to let Deformed Face take temporary control of the body.
All you have to do now is be in the room and read Soldier Boy's mind. I'll take care of the rest.
Right after that, Sage called Soldier Boy over, asking him to attend the church event instead of Firecracker, unless Soldier Boy had a more important mission, such as helping Homelander look for V1. Unexpectedly, Soldier Boy was very cautious, saying he had no clues about V1 at all. Then he left, grumbling and cursing.
The inside of his head. That was terrifying. I'm not kidding, I think I just shit Ashley's pants.
Although it was only a few minutes, Deformed Face had already learned through mind reading that V1 was in Bombsite's hands. Moreover, Homelander had already dispatched the entire criminal analysis department to search for this person, and ordered not to inform Sage. Most importantly, Soldier Boy seemed to really intend to help Homelander.
Like, he's kind of proud of him, but he doesn't want him to know that he's proud of him?
Sage wasn't surprised after hearing this. He also vowed to tell Deformed Face that V1 would be destroyed before tomorrow morning. Sage took out the tracking chip inside his body and left Vought first.
Wait, but what should I... Are you really just leaving me here? Fuck!
In the evening, the nursing home was playing an old commercial of Bombsite. Kimiko and the others approached Geisha cautiously.
Shit!
Though Geisha could stop the three from getting close, her infusion bag was still hanging outside. MM injected the sleeping drug into it, putting Geisha into a deep sleep. The three of them pushed her away carefully, but as soon as they opened the main gate, they were stopped by three elderly supes. Kimiko shook her head desperately. She had no desire to fight this disgusting old man. Butcher choked the old man by the head and nearly beat him to death with several punches. Kimiko stepped forward kindly to stop him, but was slashed by the Indian soup. Butcher immediately pulled out an axe and hurled it over.
What is taking you so long?
While Frenchie was left in utter disbelief, Homelander got intelligence from the Criminal Analysis Department and took Soldier Boy to Bombsight's residence, but the place was empty with no one in sight. There was only a laptop placed on the table. Inside were adult videos starring Clara and Homelander. Homelander had talked about Clara with Soldier Boy before.
You told me she killed herself.
She did, after Ryan did that to her. It's his fault.
So then what, you locked her in your apartment like some kind of amputee fuck doll and filmed her for kicks?
No.
After finishing his words, Soldier Boy punched Homelander. Instead of losing his temper, Homelander calmed down after taking the blow.
I couldn't let her go. I didn't know how. Because I loved her. And so did you.
You're goddamn right I loved her.
Soldier Boy had been with Clara for decades. He was genuinely infuriated by his son this time. Homelander immediately pointed out that it was Sage's scheme. She wanted to stir up trouble between the two of us. Without you, I can't locate Soldier Boy number 1.
You don't deserve to live forever.
Homelander pushed everyone around him away one by one in this way. Luckily, Butcher's progress was also stuck. Although Geisha's phone had Firecracker and Bombsight's numbers, they could never get through. Butcher told Kimiko to keep an eye on Geisha and planned to find tools for torture interrogation. But as soon as he walked into the room, he saw Sage, even though she explained her intention, but Butcher and the others refused to believe Sage would suddenly defect. Sage had to confess that she knew Starlight had gone to the church to plant the super virus they developed. I could have stopped you, or informed Homelander to kill you, but I didn't, and that's enough to prove my sincerity.
That virus is gonna wipe out the fucking lot of you. And you don't strike me as a suicide type.
I will be in my nice quiet bunker reading Wittgenstein in peace. You must have realized by now Granny out there has no clue how to contact Bombsight. But I do.
Sage sent Bombsight a photo of the captured geisha, waiting quietly for him to show up. During this time, Kimiko couldn't help. Approaching Geisha, she explained that she was her fan, and it meant a lot to see someone of the same race in Hollywood. That was why Kimiko had always admired Geisha.
If you're such a big fan, let me go.
Désolé, but we cannot. Not until we get the V1 that Bombsight possesses.
Wait, that's what you're after. V1?
It turned out Bombsight stole the only remaining V1 back then, just to let Geisha inject it, so that the two could stay together forever, but Geisha refused the injection, which was why Bombsight chose to leave. After all, watching the one you love grow old is truly a painful thing.
I'm sorry, I do not understand. Why won't you take it?
To live forever. Maybe torture. You're both so young, you wouldn't understand.
Maybe I would.
Kimiko's words made Frenchie feel a little uneasy. He had always wanted to find V1, to let Kimiko stay by his side forever, yet he'd never asked what she really thought. In fact, Kimiko and Starlight had talked privately long before. Neither of them wanted to endure the pain of watching their lover grow old and pass away, but they were willing to inject V1 for their loved ones, because compared with death, those left behind suffer the most. At this point, Starlight and Huey had arrived outside the Church of the American Democracy Church. Huey tampered with the security surveillance camera to make it play the same video on a loop. Then he pried open the door and entered the church. The wall was covered with photos of supes with psychic abilities. Before the two could figure out Homelander's intention, they spotted two staff members. They quickly dodged into a side room. Unexpectedly, there was a corpse kept inside, and the deceased was no one else but Firecracker. They found the place where Homelander planned to give his sermon. Huey took out the virus and went to set it up. But the next second, Father suddenly appeared. Huey hid quickly to avoid being spotted. Meanwhile, Starlight deliberately made conversation to draw the priest's attention. Starlight couldn't understand how Father, a former devout believer in God, could become Homelander's lackey. The priest said self-mockingly that he'd started preaching at the age of 9. He lived in a shabby tent and prayed to God for the poor, praying for their illnesses to be cured and their children to be taken care of, yet God had never listened.
God checked out. Homelander is standing in front of us. He's not asking for blind faith. And when I talk, he listens.
While the two were arguing, Huey busied himself behind them, and Father finally realized something.
But you didn't sneak in here to argue about dogma, did you?
The priest didn't give Starlight a chance to get up, and was about to attack again, but Huey rushed out holding the virus.
So's Annie.
No. She already took the antidote.
Oh, Father wouldn't risk his own life, so he chose to let Starlight go. Just then, the Deep's public service advertisement went online.
Isn't oil bad for the environment? No! Oil is all natural and organic. It comes from the earth. And if we don't use it, then all those dinosaurs will have died for nothing.
Black Noir watched the silly commercial and suddenly came up with an idea to get back at the Deep.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Jeremy? No! No! Jeremy. No, he's not breathing.
The Deep hurriedly gave first aid to his fish friend, but the creature died on the spot. This oil spill incident was very serious. More than 9.46 million liters of crude oil flowed into the Bering Strait.
Plenty of fish in the sea, bro.
But most of them are fucking dead.
Payback's a bitch.
What's that supposed to mean?
It turned out Black Noir had flown to Alaska. He deliberately punched a hole in the oil pipeline. His purpose was to avenge the drama director.
I killed one dude. You killed 1.4 billion fish, motherfucker.
One human being was a national treasure, asshole, not just some stupid fish.
So let's record this stupid fucking thing.
The Deep truly regarded marine creatures as friends and family. In a fit of rage, he pulled out a dagger and killed the imposter. The seven lost another member, and the group completely fell apart from within. At the same time, the legend was still working overtime. A colleague called him to clean up excrement on the men's restroom floor, but the moment the legend turned around, his colleague's head was blown to pieces. Then Homelander showed up, leaving the legend scared and lost for words.
And I'll gladly tell you anything you want to know. Great. That's great.
Homelander had reached a state where he was terrifying whether he smiled or not. The legend led him to Butcher's hideout, only to find the group wasn't there. He quickly explained that he wasn't lying. Homelander knew the legend was telling the truth, because there was still a Taco Bell receipt on the table. It was the chain fast food that Sage favored the most. She would leave the receipt behind wherever she went. Continuous betrayals made Homelander break down emotionally.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense. You said I would get the V1. You said I'd be a god. Did I do something wrong? Did I fail you? I did everything you asked me to. I gave my boy up. Please, don't leave me here to just rot. Don't just let me become nothing like him.
After hearing Homelander's words, the legend realized he had no intention of letting him leave alive. The legend told Homelander that a soup's life was just like this. It was enough to have enjoyed success and splendor. Glory would fade sooner or later, just like Geisha, who was also a huge star in her youth. In old age, she still had to sell necklaces for Vought Alarm Equipment Company.
There's a natural order to things. And the more you fight the inevitable, the more the inevitable just cunt punts you.
Homelander glanced at his shoulder in disbelief.
You're not scared of me.
No, I'm not scared of you. I feel for you, kid. I mean, you're a fucking whack job. But, you know, that's talent.
The legend told Homelander to get it over with quickly, yet Homelander let him leave. In fact, this giant man-child was quite easy to understand. You mustn't be afraid when facing him. You have to communicate with him, like a normal person talking to another normal person. At this point, Homelander made a phone call.
I need the tracking coordinates for a Vought Alert necklace.
Geisha was wearing exactly that necklace around her neck. Butcher and the others were still waiting for Bombsight to appear. The more thought about it, the more he believed Sage was insane. You went through so much trouble helping Homelander, yet all you finally wanted was to hide in a bunker and spend the rest of your life alone.
Sorry, are you not working day and night to drop a genocidal virus?
Yeah, but I ain't gotta enjoy it. I just gotta do it.
Don't pretend you're better than me. Enjoy it, don't enjoy it. Still mass murder.
Sage's words struck a raw nerve in him. Though he tried to convince himself there was no other choice, it still couldn't change the fact that Butcher's plan was a cruel massacre. Whether MM's hesitation would plant hidden dangers, we couldn't know yet. Just then, everyone suddenly pricked up their ears.
Right on cue.
Bombsight finally revealed himself. Thanks to the miraculous effect of V1, he still maintained the appearance of a young adult, but his former lover had already grown old and frail. Butcher pointed a gun at Geisha, and told Bombsight that as long as he handed over V1, everyone would be safe, but Bombsight refused to compromise, because he'd been waiting all these years for Geisha to regret her decision. The V1 was kept for the one he loved.
I'm sorry, but I won't. That doesn't mean we can't be together. We've wasted years already.
If I gave it to you, what would you do with it?
We will destroy it. She's right. It is a curse.
Sage interrupted their touching conversation. She told Butcher that V1 was in Bombsight's pocket. He brought it because he feared Geisha would be in danger. Bombsight insisted on injecting Geisha with it, but the next second, he was entangled by Butcher's vines. Yet, he had immense strength and quickly flung them away. Bullets from Frenchie and MM were completely useless against him. Kimiko rushed over to help. At the critical moment, Geisha unexpectedly shielded Kimiko with a protective barrier. She didn't want anyone to get hurt because of her. Just then, Soldier Boy suddenly made an appearance.
I texted him. He's here to help.
We don't need that motherfucker's help.
No, those two crackers have been at each other's throats for 80 years. It's their bone. Let the old dogs fight over it.
Soldier Boy had always wanted to avenge being sold to Russia by the original team members years ago. Moreover, after learning the truth about Clara's death, he had grown disillusioned with his son. Sage concluded that he would no longer help Homelander obtain V1. At this point, the two old veterans engaged in a brutal primitive close-quarters brawl. They didn't use their superpowers. Perhaps this was the only way to vent hatred built up for decades. Soldier Boy shoved an iron rod into Bombsight's mouth. The latter struggled desperately and leaped upward. Both of them vanished into the large hole in the ceiling, then crashed back down to the ground.
Damn it, I hate flying!
Soldier Boy seized the moment and grabbed Bombsight by the neck. The latter quickly begged him to stop, explaining that the original Supes had lived far too long and endured endless loneliness. Even if Geisha refused the injection, Bombsight couldn't give up V1. What if one day he could find someone willing to live an eternal life with him?
You were everyone's favorite from the start, especially Clara. Everything they wanted us to be, everything they were working towards, they saw it in you. I fucking hated you for it. What wouldn't you give to have her back? Forever.
Perhaps time could truly dilute hatred. Perhaps too few people survived back then. Soldier Boy no longer wanted them to kill each other, but he had to get hold of V1. In return, Soldier Boy could take away Bombsight's immortality and superpowers, allowing him to stay with Geisha until they passed away naturally. Moved by Soldier Boy's words, Bombsight finally handed over V1. Soldier Boy also activated his power to keep his promise. Bombsight touched his wound in disbelief.
This is the first time I've seen my blood and I can't remember.
As soon as the words fell, Homelander descended from the sky. Bombsight fled quickly, leaving the battlefield to this twisted father and son. Butcher and the others stared at them nervously, not knowing what choice Soldier Boy would make.
You know, Clara used to say the craziest shit. That I was the strongest supe alive. The ultimate expression of what we could be. But she was wrong. She hadn't met you yet.
Soldier Boy actually handed V1 to Homelander.
I don't understand. He wasn't supposed to. It's impossible.
Why do you hate me? I loved her more. And this is what she would want.
Sage forgot how complicated human nature could be. Cultivating the strongest supe and seizing power had always been Clara's lifelong wish, and Soldier Boy wanted to help her fulfill it. Homelander cut open his arm and injected the serum, and it was already too late. After Homelander injected V1, he immediately went to the White House office. He came this time with several pending matters for the president to handle. First, The American Democracy Church will become an official national religion. Next, an executive order banning abortion must be issued. In addition, women will be forced to breastfeed their children.
Ban nut milk. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making you think nuts were milk.
I'll run them by Congress.
No, disband it.
Sorry?
Disband Congress. It's better for freedom.
Homelander's expression turned cold and gloomy. He tore off Ashley's hood and ordered her to use mind reading on the president.
He thinks you're just a tiny bit psychotic.
It's okay. I'm not angry. But I am disappointed.
Ashley was too scared to even breathe loudly. The Deep also got up his courage to find Homelander and explain Black Noir's death. Unexpectedly, Homelander had no intention of punishing him.
Because I am abolishing the Seven. Effective immediately. Let's be honest, there hasn't been 7 members of the Seven in quite some time. It's a bit of a running joke.
The Deep was stunned by this sudden news. He now had nowhere left to go. After the previous oil spill incident, the Deep had basically become a public enemy of the ocean.
We know you were responsible for the pipeline genocide. Remember March 15th, motherfucker? If you step 1 foot, one fucking stupid-ass simian toe in the water, anywhere, an ocean, a stream, a fucking puddle, on God, son, you're dead. We're gonna kill you!
After the president's death, Ashley smoothly took power. She couldn't even get elected as a class representative. Back in her school days, she never expected to end up occupying the White House now, but Deformed Face knew clearly that no matter how glamorous this position was, she couldn't hold it for long. He therefore suggested Ashley contact the Pentagon or NATO. They had to enlist any helpful organization to deal with Homelander, but Ashley refused to take the risk. She'd survived until now, only by knowing what to do and what not to do. Deformed Face became disheartened and said he would no longer have anything to do with Ashley.
I'm free!
After the noisy voices in her head faded away, Ashley realized she'd fallen into a truly helpless and isolated situation. On the other side, Starlight and MM found the main soup protagonists from Gen V, Blood Controller Marie and Gender Shifter Jordan. Still, she didn't count on the 2 youngsters for help. She only wanted to inquire about O-Father's movements over the past 3 weeks. Because this man knew Homelander's next plan best, Marie and Jordan were very disappointed after hearing this, because they also wanted to do their part to take down Homelander. Starlight teased Marie for being too naive. You can't even control your own powers. What's the use of being powerful anyway?
Since when did hopeful and naive become the same thing?
This was a line Starlight said in her 7 audition tape. Marie had watched it thousands of times when she lived at Red River Institute. Unluckily, the Starlight of today had long since changed.
I was naive.
I guess you're not who I thought you were, Annie.
Guess not.
At the same time, Kimiko was undergoing the uranium radiation modification experiment. Why would she agree to this experiment? Because after Homelander injected V1, he became nearly invincible. He couldn't be killed by ordinary means. Only Soldier Boy's chest uranium radiation blast could drain Compound V inside a soup's body. He wasn't born with this ability. Instead, the Russians exposed Soldier Boy to nuclear radiation equivalent to an atomic bomb explosion to develop this power. As everyone knows, Kimiko has top-tier healing abilities. If she's also exposed to uranium radiation and modified, she might be able to emit energy-draining rays so they could take down Homelander after he injected V1. Although Frenchie didn't want Kimiko to risk her life, she volunteered for the experiment. He had no choice but to support her. At this point, Starlight opened the notebook Marie gave her. It recorded the priest's movements in detail. He'd been staying at the Vought studio lately, presumably preparing for Homelander's theocratic rule plan. Butcher's plan was to go to the studio and capture the priest, force him to reveal Homelander's next plan.
No. Quit acting like we're going on a milk run. It's over. We lost.
Butcher was displeased upon hearing this. You know David Beckham's wife Victoria, right? She was the least talented member of the Spice Girls, but just look at the life she has now.
Still married with Bex. 15 engagement rings. 32 Vogue covers. Inducted by Prince William into the Order of the Bloody British Empire. Her line is a staple at Paris fucking Fashion Week. You see, despite her obvious disadvantages, including a tragic inability to smile, she never gave up. And we ain't given up either.
Your fucking pep talks.
Terrible.
Ah, bollocks. That was a fucking knockout.
The group moved into action at once. Kimiko and Frenchie stayed behind to continue the experiment. The remaining 4 split into pairs, fully armed, preparing to infiltrate Vought's studio.
Hold it right there, little missy. You think you could smuggle illegals onto my land?
Whoops. Looks like another birthright citizen.
God damn you.
Starlight was left speechless after hearing such inhumane
The country thinks I'm not. Why do I even bother?
remarks. The two couldn't find the priest and planned to look elsewhere. Luckily, Butcher and Huey had already found the priest. Unexpectedly, he was rehearsing a musical. He intended to announce the coming of the god in this form. Butcher waited for the right moment to make his move, but a new figure named Synapse appeared beside the priest. This person had powerful mind reading that could read both surface and deep thoughts without physical contact. The two mustn't let him probe their minds, yet Synapse had already sensed their presence. And Starlight soon caught sight of Synapse as well. The two immediately took out lace cigarettes and smoked heavily, because the best way to resist psychics and mind readers is to numb one's own brain. Father selected a group of loyal netizens who firmly supported Homelander online. He planned to hold a small preview screening to premiere the promotional video he personally created. The group arrived at the preview and had to fill out a questionnaire and give honest feedback after watching. Butcher hiding in the shadows soon noticed gray matter and Mindlink guarding both sides like door gods. They both had psychic-type superpowers. Anyone at the scene who failed to give honest feedback after watching the video would surely be seen through. Starlight suddenly remembered seeing the wall covered with photos of psychically gifted supes when she was in the church. Why did Homelander summon them? I suspect he wants to root out moles and keep only those who are truly loyal. At this point, the lights dimmed. Father's annual masterpiece began to play. Amid a field of golden wheat, Homelander made a dazzling entrance, then a gentle breeze blew, and Jesus descended from the sky.
What are you doing here, Jesus?
I've taken the fight as far as I can. The corrupt FBI, transgender immigrant rapists, the forces of darkness in today's world are simply too much to bear.
What do you say?
Jesus placed the crown upon Homelander's head. He was then hoisted back into the air by steel wires.
Then I accept.
Father wore an expression begging for praise, and turned to observe everyone's reactions, but everyone looked gloomy and displeased. On the other side, Homelander was redesigning the city. He planned to build Mount Homelander, with a giant statue erected on top. He would then set aside an area to build a Father God memorial for Soldier Boy. But Soldier Boy intended to leave for Bogota at once. He preferred an unrestrained and decadent life.
When are you coming back?
Probably not for, ever.
What?
I gave you the V1 because of Clara. This was never gonna be a play and catch in the front lawn, fixing up the old Impala bullshit. You're too weird.
Stop fucking saying that.
And you're no god!
Homelander didn't care about other remarks, but he couldn't stand having his current worth denied.
Am God! Would it help if I said it's not you, it's me?
If you wanna go, go.
As Soldier Boy was about to leave, Homelander pounced on him the next second. He choked his father. Unconscious on the spot. The moment Soldier Boy passed out, Huey and Butcher regained consciousness, yet they were tightly tied to a chair. Moreover, Synapse had invaded Butcher's mind and blocked all his superpowers, so the two could only sit there helpless. Meanwhile, Frenchie found Sage, and hoped she would assist him with the experiment, because the slightest mistake would cost Kimiko her life. He couldn't bear to watch the one he loved die. Unexpectedly, these words touched a nerve with Sage. Love is a logical error, a loophole she could never predict no matter how wise she was.
Love made me miscalculate that a disfigured Nazi cum stump could actually bring Homelander and Soldier Boy together. Love makes people unpredictable, and if I can't predict people, I am useless.
Sage refused to lend a hand. Frenchie had to continue the experiment on his own. Kimiko had already been tortured beyond recognition. He quickly stopped the equipment and comforted her. When everything settles down, the two can move to Marseille and have several children.
After everything we've been through, settling down sounds nice. Kimiko? Kimiko?
Frenchie sent Kimiko to rest and went on to persuade Sage, but she kept staring at the television without moving.
Cordina are still together till this day.
You're a Love Islander?
Love Island, USA, UK, Sweden, games. You name it, I watch it.
Why is it so fucking good?
Because you were right. Love. It makes no sense.
What Frenchie wanted to say was simple: no matter how intelligent a person is, they can never understand love. There are always unsolved mysteries in the world.
Have you never been so completely loved? I know you have no reason to help me. I beg you.
Sage thought of her mother, and the pain of losing someone she loved. In the end, she agreed to help Frenchie. On the other side, Starlight was deceived. Synapse imitated Huey's voice, and told her he was safe and searching the priest's trailer. Hearing this, Starlight felt relieved and kept watching the priest. At this point, the priest told the preview audience to raise their hands if they believed Homelander was the savior. As soon as he finished speaking, countless hands were raised below, but the two psychics soon stepped forward and handed O-Father a list.
If I read your name, you are free to go.
As the priest began calling names, Starlight suddenly felt more exhausted than ever before. These people simply want to be enslaved and controlled. If humanity doesn't want to be saved, what's the point of saving them? Noticed the change in Starlight's mood, and told her a story from his childhood. Ever since his grandfather was killed by Soldier Boy, his childhood had become very miserable. He was bullied by neighborhood children day and night. One day, MM saw an injured pigeon on the street. He immediately fetched a shoebox and a first aid kit to bandage the poor little creature. At that time, MM thought saving the pigeon might ease his regret over failing to protect his grandfather. But when the other kids found out, they mocked MM even more cruelly. They also gave him the nickname MM. First, because his real name contained the word milk. Second, they wanted to mock him for acting like a wet nurse to a pigeon. But when the little bird spread its wings and flew high over the heads of those children, none of the insults mattered anymore.
And you know what, Annie? Here's the crazy thing. I loved my new name. Because I loved helping people. I loved being kind. Making my family proud. That name was a badge of honor for me. And yeah, it got easier just being cynical. Checking out. But I also hated myself a lot more. I went from being a motherfucker with a heart to just being a motherfucker.
MM had never gone against his original aspiration. After going through struggle and hesitation, he became even more resolute instead. He even noticed Starlight's inner turmoil and intervened to guide her in time. Just then, footsteps came from under the ventilation duct. Sheilin was in the middle of cleaning herself. Soon after, Dog Boy, whose sense of smell was comparable to a hound, also walked in. He asked Sheilin if she had found Starlight.
Wait, you smell that?
Smell what?
Just as Starlight was filled with nervousness, the cat and the dog suddenly lay on the ground and sniffed each other.
You had Chipotle for lunch. Carne asada bowl with extra guac. And corn salsa.
The two circled around on the ground sniffing each other's rear ends. The sight almost made Starlight and MM throw up. At the same time, O-Father called Homelander and told him that Butcher and Huey had been successfully captured.
You want us to kill Butcher and Campbell?
No. Get Sage's location first. I owe her a visit.
Homelander was ruthless when killing his own allies, but hesitated when facing real enemies. What's more, he had Soldier Boy locked up once again. Homelander said Starlight must also be inside the studio, and told the priest to expand the search. He then asked how the preview screening was going. The priest reported haltingly, "Only 6 out of 30 people believe you are truly a god, but I can find a way to convert them." Yet Homelander's order was straightforward: kill anyone who refuses to believe. On the other side, Huey and Butcher talked calmly in a rare peaceful atmosphere, but Synapse soon interrupted them.
Oh, I got a little bit of erection myself.
You miss me?
Do you all remember Kessler? He was Butcher's best friend during the counter-terrorism war. The two were ambushed during a mission in Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley. To save his own life back then, Butcher abandoned the injured Kessler and left him to die on the battlefield. This incident became Butcher's lifelong guilt and psychological scar when he suffered a brain infection in Season 4. He even had hallucinations taking Kessler's form. Synapse knew this man was Butcher's greatest weakness. That was why he took on Kessler's appearance. And right in front of Huey, he exposed the lies Butcher had always maintained. He pointed out that Butcher was no hero, but fundamentally a selfish man who would sacrifice anyone to survive. Synapse's move not only struck at Butcher's last psychological defense, but also warned Huey that Butcher would keep using him. Until he stood in his way, the two were caught completely off guard by this tactic. Their mental defenses were greatly weakened. Synapse easily dug out the information he wanted, such as Sage hiding in an abandoned school in Erie, Pennsylvania. Kimiko planned to harness Soldier Boy's energy blast ability.
Homelander is gonna love this shit.
Huey couldn't believe Butcher had ever abandoned his comrade. He couldn't help asking if what was said just now was true.
Every fucking word.
As soon as the words ended, Synapse came back holding a dagger. He wanted Butcher to watch him kill Huey. But what happened next was beyond expectation. Synapse had been imprisoned for committing multiple murders. Huey happened to have read his file and knew Synapse's core trauma was accidentally killing his own younger brother in childhood, and the scene was very bloody.
Now you can see them too, right?
Shut up!
The autopsy said that your little brother was still alive when you made him gut himself with your alcoholic mom's corkscrew.
Shut up!
7 years old, and you loved him. That's what's so tragic.
Huey successfully distracted Synapse and restored Butcher's superpowers. He unleashed his tentacles and pierced Synapse's body in an instant, finally getting rid of this trouble. On the other side, O-Father steeled his heart and prepared to carry out the order.
In this new world, there is no room for heresy.
After O-Father finished speaking, he gave Sheelan a look. The latter cooperated with Dogboy to seal the gate.
I'm sorry, are we not allowed to leave?
A cruel and complete massacre officially began. Luckily, Starlight and MM arrived in the nick of time. Starlight stepped forward to restrain Dogboy, while MM shot and burst the water dispenser bucket. As everyone knows, most cats hate water. MM took the chance to injure Sheelan and evacuate the crowd, but Sheelan quickly pounced back and knocked MM's pistol away. In the nick of time, MM spotted a little mouse, quickly grabbed it and threw it at Sheelan. Her attention was indeed drawn to the mouse. MM quickly injected the syringe into Sheelan's lower back. Starlight also moved to finish the aftermath. The two first led the victims out of the Vought building. Starlight regained her original state of mind and found Marie and Jordan again.
What do you want?
Your help.
The progress of the four-person outside team came to a temporary end. The Deep, now reduced to a homeless outcast, contacted his public relations team. He wanted to discuss what to do next. Just then, an old man drowned by the seaside.
It's the Deep! Everybody look, the Deep's here!
Thank God! Help my pop-pop!
The mighty Lord of the Seven Seas hesitated at this point, because he was already wanted by marine creatures. He would become a hunting target once he entered the water. The Deep could only slip away secretly and let the old man drown. Meanwhile, inside the abandoned school, Sage corrected the data deviation set by Frenchie, ensuring the radiation level remained at the most accurate value. Kimiko, who had fully rested, returned to the radiation chamber once more, but only 30 seconds passed before she was in unbearable agony. Frenchie quickly shut down the equipment. Right after that, the computer let out continuous alarm sounds. The Doppler system on the roof detected an unidentified flying object approaching. Homelander was coming. There wasn't enough time left to escape. Frenchie could only hide the unconscious Kimiko first. Homelander's X-ray vision couldn't penetrate zinc, so they had specially left a secret room here, just enough to hide Kimiko and Sage. Frenchie also immediately found a place to hide. Homelander was about to notice the impenetrable zinc plate. Though Frenchie was terrified deep down, he still held on to mislead Homelander.
Oh, ha ha ha. We already did. And they're coming for you as we speak.
Homelander grew nervous. Frenchie pulled out the enriched uranium in the chaos. When a person puts life and death aside, fear fades away as well.
Look at you. I bet you never danced a day in your life.
Homelander left in a fit of rage. Only then did Sage loosen her grip on Kimiko, but the moment Kimiko rushed out, she only saw bloodstains dragging across the ground. Frenchie was already on his last breath.
Them. From the first.
He never got to live a peaceful life in the end, passing away forever in the arms of his beloved.
You little piece of shit. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. Please, I'll do anything.
Homelander shows just how to adapt when things go wrong. 1 second, he's arrogant enough to claim to be the one and only God. The next second he drops to his knees and begs for mercy. 7 years pass like a dream, and the final chapter reveals the outcome. The grand finale of the final season of The Boys has finally kicked off. The episode opens with Frenchie's funeral, setting a solemn and mournful tone. For the final episode of the final season, Huey was in charge of reading Frenchie's will. Half his life his mind was numbed by drugs, and he had no special skills. He didn't know whether he could enter heaven after death.
But fear not, I am at peace, because for a moment I knew heaven on earth, in your arms, mon coeur.
Starlight tried to comfort Kimiko, only to be pushed away by her. The pebbles on the ground trembled non-stop because of her emotions, but Sage checked all the data, and found no evidence that the laser experiment succeeded. Moreover, since Frenchie's death, Kimiko had lost her ability to speak again. Her lover helped her regain the power of speech, yet also took away that courage once more. As for Starlight asking Marie and the others for help, she didn't intend to use these kids' power to defeat Homelander. Instead, she begged them to take the people rescued from the preview screening and flee to Canada for refuge first, then contacted the other members and kept helping humanity. Starlight meant that members of the boys might die in the final battle, but the torch must be passed on. Marie and her friends were the hope for the future. This reason convinced the young superhumans. Marie and her companions soon took the survivors to Canada. Sage kept thinking about those trembling pebbles. To verify her guess, she deliberately provoked Kimiko with rude remarks, saying that she only regarded Frenchie as her pet. Although the data showed no sign of a successful experiment, Kimiko had indeed gained the same powers as Soldier Boy, because after being hit by the laser, Sage felt her mind was lighter than ever before. All her complicated thoughts had vanished. She'd finally returned to being an ordinary person with normal intelligence. On the other side, Homelander had released news that he would hold a live broadcast at the White House at 4 p.m. on Easter Sunday to announce his vision for the American Church of Democracy. Ryan was watching the news intently when Homelander suddenly appeared.
It's alright. Not here to hurt you.
To stop Soldier Boy from leaving, Homelander had locked him back in the cryochamber, so he had to turn back and make up with his son, and claimed that as long as Ryan was willing to come back, they could be just like before.
Everything is different now. I've ascended. I'm immortal.
Then why do you give a shit about what happens to me?
Because we're families.
Yeah, well, you got your shitty racist dad, so you don't need me.
Oh, Soldier Boy doesn't matter. You and I. That's all that matters.
Unluckily, Ryan would no longer be fooled by fatherly love. Ever since he was beaten half to death by Homelander last time, he'd seen through his true nature.
Why the fuck would more power make you any better? It's just gonna make you an even more lonely, miserable piece of shit. Scaring people into calling you God doesn't make you God.
Even though Homelander stood at the peak of power, he suddenly looked back and found himself all alone. He'd finally ended up deserted by all, driving away everyone who trusted him or tried to trust him. Inside the White House, Father was writing a speech for Homelander to announce the arrival of the new god. Ashley had specially prepared a reward gift for him.
The straps are reinforced ballistic Kevlar. No matter how much I defile you, this one will never explode.
But after the preview screening incident, Father felt a little nervous inside. He didn't expect so many people to doubt Homelander's divinity. Hearing this, Ashley took the chance to send Father away.
What is he thinking? If I press him, will he flip on Homelander? For fuck's sake, is this the 8th grade?
because Deformed Face refused to talk to Ashley, so she couldn't be sure of O-Father's attitude. She could only keep pretending to trust Homelander. Meanwhile, the boys team was planning their final operation. It was now known that Homelander planned to declare himself the Almighty God on Easter, and intended to send a large number of mind readers across America to use mind reading to screen out those who didn't believe in Homelander. Based on the 36 probability from the preview screening, millions of people would probably die, but the question was how to sneak into the White House.
You dress up like those soldiers with the furry hats. Shit, that's England. Ignore me.
In the end, Butcher came up with a solution. There was an unofficially recorded secret tunnel under the White House. It's said to have been left by Kennedy back then for trysts with Marilyn Monroe. They could enter the White House through this tunnel. Moreover, kept the White House defense blueprints, prepared by the CIA back then to protect President Singer, which marked the location of every entrance, and the password for each door. The group finalized their final plan like this. On the other side, O-Father was receiving Gunter, the richest man in the world. He had 17 children alone, and was also an amateur astronaut. Gunter represented America's ruling class. To help Homelander build his church, the priest needed help from these wealthy people.
Is he a believer? Or any of them?
Even Thomas doubted. With enough time, the gentlest water can wear down any stone. I believe we should consider postponing.
O-Father believed Butcher's laser research was a major hidden danger. Homelander shouldn't risk showing up and losing his powers. In addition, if the announcement event was postponed, he was confident he could get more people to convert sincerely. Right after he finished speaking, Deep suddenly showed up. He sincerely suggested to Homelander, if you don't want the 7, I can be a crusader, specifically punishing those disobedient believers. O-Father wanted to drive this idiot away. Homelander took the chance to walk toward the world's richest man, and flew up into the sky with him.
What did you...
He's an astronaut, I took him to space.
Homelander would neither cater to the richest man, nor accept the fool Deep again.
I have never had less respect for anyone in my life. In fact, Kevin, the only reason that I haven't fucking killed you is that I want you to feel deep in your heart how truly worthless you really are.
Homelander shattered Deep's little heart to pieces, and insisted on holding the announcement event on Easter. Once the live broadcast ended, he would know everyone's inner thoughts. Everyone who refused to accept Homelander as God would be burned to death by holy fire. When Sunday came, the highly anticipated White House live broadcast began. The boys team also officially launched their operation. Homelander was faking a smile and reading the speech written by O-Father in front of the camera. At this point, the whole nation was watching this live broadcast. Mind readers beside them were quietly judging the authenticity of everyone's faith. It must be said that O-Father's speech was highly inflammatory.
I am the Lord, your Savior. I am your God. And as such, I'm going to usher this world into a new golden dawn. Your prayers are truly answered when you visit Homelander.church.
Just then, a bodyguard came to remind Ashley that a small group of people had entered the White House tunnel.
Don't worry, we're ready. Take her to the secure facility.
The next second, Butcher and his group noticed an extra door in the tunnel.
Annie, what's going on? Fucking sick dog whistle.
Starlight and Kimiko protected the two people without superpowers, but the enemy firepower was too intense. Even superhumans couldn't hold out for long. In the nick of time, Ashley shook off her bodyguards and ran alone to the underground tunnel. To help, Deformed Face was glad she'd woken up in time, and finally spoke up to guide Ashley. The two opened the door and let the boys escape, and told Butcher that Homelander was inside the Oval Office. It's up to you now.
Left.
Proud of you, bitch.
The boys successfully entered the White House interior. Unexpectedly, they ran into the whimpering Deep as soon as they got in. He perked up instantly when he saw Starlight. Capturing Starlight would make Homelander change his mind.
I got him. Keep going.
Right after he finished speaking, Father broke in through the door. He said flat out that as long as Butcher and Kimiko were handed over, the rest would be safe and sound. Huey knew time was running out. He told Butcher to take Kimiko to find Homelander quickly.
Yeah, now you're gonna manage that.
That is an Ansel IGS 300. I mean, you have your thing. I have mine.
Huey shot and destroyed the fire extinguishing device. Smoke instantly blurred O-Father's vision. Huey took the chance to imitate Butcher's voice and lead the priest in the opposite direction. He and MM accidentally hid in the vice president's office. They also saw the gift Ashley had given the priest. The next second, the priest burst into the office, ready to use sound waves to force information about Butcher's whereabouts. Truly turbo-grade titanium alloy, combined with ballistic-proof aramid fiber, it actually blew the priest's head apart. On the other side, Starlight tackled the Deep to the seaside. She couldn't understand why he was so devoted to Homelander.
For a man who wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire.
I'm his right-hand bro. He'll piss on me whenever I want.
Starlight cut off the Deep, who was putting on a brave front, and said flat out that she could see he was afraid of Homelander. She hoped he could turn back from the wrong path and get out of his current predicament.
I used to have it all. You know, power, respect. But all the bad shit started when you showed up. I lost everything.
You're not a fucking baby. For once, take some responsibility for yourself.
No!
Unluckily, the Deep was ungrateful, so Starlight showed no more mercy. As soon as the Deep fell into the water, marine creatures swarmed over at once. A giant octopus wrapped around his body and pierced the Deep right through from his rear end. Now the obstacles on both sides for the boys had been cleared. Homelander's speech was also drawing to an end. The most touching closing line appeared on the teleprompter: "I am your father, and you are my beloved children." Faced with this highly ironic line, Homelander just couldn't bring himself to say it, because as a father, he got no respect from his son, and as a son, he was never loved by his father. Homelander suddenly didn't want to keep pretending anymore.
But no matter what I do, some of you people will never accept me into your hearts. Never love me. Never believe in me. And to such heretics I offer oblivion. And those who seek to destroy me, you will die the most horrible of deaths. When this world is cold and dead, I shall remain.
Just then, Butcher finally arrived at the scene.
Evening, cunts. Daddy's home.
The highly anticipated moment had finally arrived. Butcher stepped aside and brought out Kimiko. Behind him, Homelander's face indeed changed drastically when he saw her. Homelander's laser powers always weaken inexplicably whenever he faces the main characters. These two were still jumping around energetically. Just then, Homelander realized Kimiko truly had laser powers. He got a shock and tried to run away immediately, only to be dragged back by Butcher's tentacles. He cut them off at once, punched and kicked Butcher away, getting ready to leave. In the nick of time, Ryan suddenly popped out to interfere. A flash of hurt crossed Homelander's eyes for a split second, but the next second, he turned ruthless.
You little piece of shit.
Ryan teamed up powerfully with Butcher, using all their moves to pin down Homelander. They almost disregarded life and death.
The fuck you waiting for now, goddammit?
Kimiko immediately began charging her power, but she wasn't Soldier Boy and couldn't use lasers freely. Just then Kimiko suddenly saw Frenchie's phantom. She signed helplessly, telling Frenchie that she couldn't do it, firing the laser needed. Anger to fuel it, yet all Kimiko felt was endless sorrow.
Rage is not what makes you strong. It has never been mon cœur. It has always been yours.
Frenchie's words gave Kimiko strength. Her chest grew hot and her eyes turned determined. Butcher and Ryan struggled to hold Homelander down. There was no epic showdown, no heroic death in battle. With one laser blast, Homelander's power faded and his faith crumbled.
This is for Frenchie.
Stop! You owe me. All the times I could have killed you, and I didn't. I let you live.
Homelander, who once scorned everything, knelt on the ground for the first time. At this point, he was no longer a god, nor a terrifying monster that struck fear into people's hearts. He was just a weak ordinary person starved for love.
Please, I'll do anything. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. I'll eat your fucking shit. I like you. Madeline, you promised me. Sorry. You can't fucking do this. You can't fucking do this. I'm the Homelander.
No. No, you ain't nothing.
Butcher grabbed a crowbar and pierced Homelander's skull. He finally avenged his late wife and countless innocent lives. Evil ended and justice prevailed. The child raised in nutrient fluid at Vought Labs never learned to be loved or to love others in the end. Everything Homelander had desperately clung to in his life left him in the end. It can be said that Homelander's short life was less of an epic of ups and downs, and more of a long-lasting, thorough tragedy. Stripped of his superpower shell, he was merely a poor experiment subject. His life ended forever on Easter Day with no one to embrace. This also shows indirectly how many lives Vought Labs had ruined. Anthony Starr truly deserves an Emmy Award. If not for his masterful performance, Homelander would never have become the soul of the boys. Now, Ryan woke up a moment late. His first sight was Homelander's broken corpse. Perhaps Ryan felt sad at this point. After all, he truly admired and loved his father. Afterwards, Ashley was impeached by Congress and dismissed immediately, ending the short-lived term of America's first female president. The boys sat on the porch celebrating their victory. It was really a miracle that only Frenchie died among all of them.
You did good today, kid. Here you go. I just wish Frenchie could have seen you.
He did.
Butcher noticed Ryan remained gloomy all the time. He could only tell him not to blame himself, that he'd only done what he needed to do. Now we can leave all these terrible things behind. In the final battle, Kimiko's nuclear-level energy wave permanently stripped Compound V from everyone present, turning Ryan and Butcher into ordinary humans. They could find a place to start over.
I know what my dad was, and it's better that he's gone. But you're not a good person either. I didn't choose you over him. I chose myself.
Ryan didn't want to start over with Butcher. On the contrary, he wanted the two to have no contact from then on. After saying that, Ryan left alone. Butcher had no choice but to slink off to find Terror, only to find the dog had died of old age naturally. Terror's death took away his last trace of humanity and attachment. After Homelander's death, Butcher's hatred didn't fade but spread instead. He realized that even if Homelander was killed, Vought Corporation and Compound V still existed, and new Homelanders and new monsters would always be born. Therefore, Butcher took out the super virus from the drawer, and quietly left the room. The TV was broadcasting news about Stan returning to Vought. He proudly announced that Vought's greatest and most profitable days were coming soon. Huey noticed Butcher was gone. From the doorway, he chased after him, and only then realized Terror had passed away.
Sorry, buddy.
As Huey was about to stand up, he accidentally knocked into the cabinet and saw the empty virus box. He rushed outside quickly, but Butcher had already driven away. Huey deliberately kept it a secret from Starlight and the others. Chasing alone into the Vought Tower, he saw a dead body as soon as he walked in. He took the man's access card and went to the Vought office. Butcher stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, waiting for all superhumans to get up and go to work. He wasn't surprised that Huey would come to stop him, but no one could shake Butcher's determination. Unless superhumans were completely destroyed, humanity would never sleep soundly.
Where's the virus, Butcher?
I dumped it in the sprinkler tank. Frenchie's idea. All I gotta do is pull this trigger, and it rains kill juice on all 99 floors. Shit'll be worldwide within a couple of days.
Huey couldn't believe Butcher would make this choice. He firmly believed there was kindness in him.
You are not a monster, Butcher. It just hurts to be human.
I'm sorry, mate. Superheroes are done.
Hearing this, Huey pulled out his weapon, but Butcher didn't give him a chance to shoot. He knocked Huey to the ground with a few punches. The latter got up and tried to grab the trigger, but his little combat power posed no threat to Butcher at all. In the end, Butcher still picked up the trigger. In the nick of time, Huey aimed at the pistol on the ground, but had no chance to pick it up. Unexpectedly, Butcher suddenly froze in place. Through Huey's kind and vulnerable eyes, he saw the face of his blood brother Lenny.
Because anyone who's ever loved you, you end up getting them killed, don't you?
In an instant, Butcher was overwhelmed by overwhelming guilt and sorrow, and Huey seized this fleeting chance to pull the triggers successfully.
Sorry. I didn't want to do that.
It's all right, Huey. I gave you no choice. I wasn't gonna stop.
Huey had always been Butcher's guiding conscience. In the end, it was he who ended Butcher's life, completing the karmic cycle of fate.
All the blood and shit I put you through, and none of it made a blind bit of difference. You stayed yourself. No matter what I've done, you really are a spitter, Lenny.
Butcher and Huey were two sides of the same coin. Huey's kindness was the humanity Butcher had lost. This ordinary human with no superpowers had always been the moral break of the boys. Soon afterwards, everyone held a funeral for Butcher. In fact, even if Huey hadn't shot him, Butcher, suffering from a brain tumor, didn't have much time left.
I think it's good that he's next to my mom.
It's where he always wanted to be.
From then on, each member of the team would go their separate ways in life. Emem took Ryan back to his home to take care of him, believing he would become the best husband and father. Kimiko went alone to Marseille, France, to see Frenchie's hometown with her own eyes. As for Huey, he was chosen by the president to run the Federal Bureau of Superhuman Affairs for his outstanding abilities. Though Huey was pleasantly surprised, he turned it down.
I really appreciate the offer. It's just I actually have my own startup venture I'm working on.
Fucking private sector.
Offer stands if you change your mind.
Huey went back to his audiovisual store. Starlight behind the counter was already pregnant, yet she didn't settle down to a quiet domestic life. Starlight was fighting the Deep during the final battle, so she wasn't affected by the laser. Whenever a crisis occurred, Starlight would still step in to help, continuing to use her superpowers to help people. The story of the boys comes to an end here. From 2019 to 2026, we saw the collapse of Vought's lies and the shattering of the Seven's myths. Together, we also accompanied the boys as they stepped toward their own karmic cycle amid bloodshed, betrayal, and struggle. Although the ending had many regrets and hasty parts, it truly echoed the core of the boys. True victory isn't destroying darkness, but preserving one's own humanity. True heroes are never invincible gods, but ordinary people who struggle in the mire, yet still choose kindness and love. If you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.